I'm also monitoring from down here in Monument, so. Not yet. Let's see if it's actually streaming. Okay. Ooh, it says it's live. All right. Go ahead and hit intro, and then you're going to tell me how many seconds I have till we're live. Okay. And you're going to, I don't see the intro playing on my, oh. Okay, tell me how much time is left in the intro. Because you're going to hit live, the live button soon. Okay.
What are you going to ask?
You just tell me when you hit that live button. It's Palm Ridge Bears. Spencer Blaylock joining me here in the Generalty broadcast booth in Monument, and we got to see this matchup a few years ago, about 5 years ago, in the state championship game. You remember Noah Roper, part of that Erie football team, and here we are all these years later, and they are now both in 4A, and they have a big matchup here today in the state playoffs. And Spencer, just from the student perspective, I know most of the students, really it should be all the students at the school, weren't here when this game was played, but a lot of siblings were. There were a lot of Erie Tiger middle schoolers that came to the game. What does this matchup kind of mean to the students at Erie High School?
This matchup is huge. I wasn't in high school when we played Palm Ridge in the state championship 4 years ago, but I was at that game. My brother, Grayson Blaylock, was, I believe, helping you broadcast that game. He was in high school then. And the just crushing defeat that we felt when we lost that game, it was really not a good feeling that day. So coming here, playing Palmer Ridge, this means a lot to me, to my friends, to all the guys on the football team. This is really our chance for a rematch against Palmer Ridge to prove ourselves as the better team.
By the way, if it sounds like we are calling this game on the radio, it's because we essentially are doing radio technology here. We are calling into the studio back at Erie High School, so it will sound a lot like your old AM radio, but it's fun. It's hearkening back to our roots. We are going to break down this game. We're going to talk about the graphic, and we'll have some highlights from last week. But first, we're going to take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
You are watching the ETN.
If you ever wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School, well now you can. we have set up a Patreon page. It's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program, as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction in knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast of the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETN Patreon.
You know that feeling you get when your life is about to change? It's terrifying, sure, but isn't it exciting? You may not know with certainty what lies ahead, but that's what makes life, well, life. And even when the scene in the rear view is hard to leave behind, take a deep breath, hold on tight, and remember, there's no better way to move than forward.
And welcome back here in Monument, Colorado for the football matchup between the Tigers and the Bears. And, well, we are going to treat you to highlights of last week's win over Fruita Monument. The Tigers won that round of 16 matchup to earn their spot here in the quarterfinals. So let's go ahead and roll those highlights.
3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Life's this game of inches. So is football. On this team, we fight for that inch. When we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the difference between winning and losing.
Through the hole there by Trey Kana. Barnett takes himself, spins off a tackler, diving like Superman and breaks the plane for a touchdown. Rowell hands it off to the up man up the middle, and he fumbled the football, and I think the Tigers jumped on it. Still looking, fires the deep out, it's clicked now across the 35 into Fruita territory, across the 30, breaks the tackle across the 20. Barnett takes it left side, he's got one man to beat for the end zone. Reaches the ball across for a touchdown. Fake, it's Ryan McConnell, he got the direct snap, runs over the right side, still on his feet, breaks the tackle across the 30, and he picks up the first down. And off left side, Dyson breaks the tackle, and he scores. There was nothing but black jerseys in his face, including Big John Pastore. Now he'll step up, fires the deep comeback route. That's Gage Nichols that came back and snatched it out of midair. Hands it off, Dyson, left side, bursts through a hole, breaks the tackle, shuttles a man down to the field, still on his feet. hands off Tyson, breaks the tackle, scoots his way across the goal line, and Erie scores. That was Trey Kana that got up to stop that one. Barnett will keep it himself, and Erie scores again. Throws it out to Oxy here. Ox will stiff arm a man, stays on his feet, tries to pile his way forward. Head off Tyson on 3rd and short. Big hole on the left side across the 30. Still on his feet. Tacks back to his right across the 10, and he will score. Lowell rolls to his right, throws intercepted in the end zone.
And welcome back in. You got to see last week's highlights in that huge win for the Tigers over Fruita Monument. You're listening to audio-only radio coverage here on the Erie Tiger Network. Tiger fans, don't forget to follow us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at Erie Tiger Media, like the Erie Tiger Media Facebook page, or check us out online at ErieTigerNetwork.com. We're broadcasting to you live from the General T broadcast booth. General T, proud sponsor of Erie Athletics. Jen's been an Erie resident specialist since 2005. Contact Jen for all your local real estate needs. Well, here we are in this quarterfinal matchup, a huge matchup here. It's the 4 versus the 5 seed, and it's the only game in 4A taking place today. 3 others took place last night as the Erie Tigers are now running onto the field. Montrose big over Fountain Fork Carson, 48-14. The winner of this game will face Montrose. If it's the Tigers, it will be a home game next weekend at Tiger Stadium against the number 1 seed if they're able to win it here today. Chatfield, the only upset so far, a 7-2, and that was a rematch victory for Chatfield. They knocked off Dakota Ridge, who was previously undefeated, 42-31, and then a tough game down here in Colorado Springs as Pine Creek defeated Loveland 10-7 at District 20 Stadium last night. And so it'll be Chatfield and Pine Creek in the semifinal. It'll be Montrose versus the winner of Palmer Ridge and Erie in the other semifinal next week. And we are so excited to bring it to you. Some good players going D1 on both sides of the ball. You got John Pastore, who will play defense and offensive tackle. You have Connor Jones, who is a 3-star tackle, the number 6 prospect in the state, according to 247sports.com. And he is committed to the University of Michigan and checks in at about 6'8", 285 pounds. So you got some D1 talent. I know Anthony Costanzo plays for Palmer Ridge. It is rumored that he will not be available today after suffering an injury last week. That is a huge blow for this Palmer Ridge football team, as he is not only their leading receiver, but one of the best defensive backs in the state as well. So we're trying to get confirmation on that for sure. We haven't seen him down on the field or anyone wearing his jersey number. If we do and he is going to play, we will let you know, but it should be a good one. We just went over the bracket here on the Erie Tiger Network. Once again, the 4-seed Palmer Ridge here at home at Don Breeze Stadium in Monument, taking on the 5-seed, the Erie Tigers. You look at what this Palmer Ridge football team has done over the course of the year. A pretty balanced attack, 2,200 yards through the air, 2,100 yards on the ground, and they check in as the 4-seed here. And they have absolutely run roughshod through their schedule here, starting with a win against Pueblo Louise, 49-14. Their only loss was a loss against Montrose, 28-21. They did suffer a scare in double overtime last week to Pueblo West. They won 28-7. But I tell you what, I don't know if you like that if you're a Tiger fan. You like that they got a scare last week, because that might put a charge in it. We are going to take a timeout for the national anthem here in the stadium. You're listening to the Erie Tiger Network's coverage here on YouTube. We'll take a timeout.
Are you looking to buy or sell a new home? Jen McGurk, an experienced real estate agent serving Erie, Vista Ridge, and the surrounding Denver area. For years, Jen has assisted all types of buyers and sellers with their real estate needs. Give Jen a call today at 303-949-3331 or check out Jen Realty online at jenrealty.com.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Jeannie Hulse in Erie today.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
Sherry Bond is your hometown real estate expert who has passionately been helping people develop winning game plans for their home goals since 1994. Her offense and defense are bar none when it comes to negotiations. Sherry believes honesty and compassion are the keys to seller service. With hundreds of happy clients, you can be confident that when you are working with Sherry Bond, you are working with a team player that truly cares about you for life.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kicking off the season celebrating 35 years of serving our local community. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a do-it-yourself project. At Budget Home Supply, we value a more personal relationship with our customers. Hey, Ernest.
Hey, Vern.
Whether you have a project in your kitchen or bathroom, a new outside deck, or just some general home improvements, indoors or out, come on down to Budget Home Supply.
Again here to Don Breeze Stadium here in Monument, Colorado for this matchup. It will be Palmer Ridge receiving the kickoff here. And we are all set. Erie wearing their white uniforms with the orange helmets, white pants. Palmer Ridge wearing blue uniforms, blue pants, and the gold numbers. And The Tigers will be going left to right, kind of with the wind at their back here in the first quarter, left to right on your radio dial, if you will. And here we go. They'll dummy the onside kick, and now they'll set up here for the normal kick. And Dom DeTavio ready to send this one deep to Palmer Ridge. And this one is end over end with the wind, and that one will go out the back of the end zone for a touchback. So, Brandenburg's Spencer Blaylock here with you, getting ready for this game. And your starters for the Erie Tiger football team. Well, we'll go over that here in a little bit. They actually started the game a little bit early because the national anthem was delayed. So, kind of threw our pregame timing up, but hey, we're ready for the game. We're pretty nervous up here in the booth. So we're ready to get this one started. All right, Palmer Ridge will come out in the shotgun. They've got a wide receiver to the near side, to the far side, and a running back flanking Hester, the quarterback. He's a sophomore. He'll take the snap, fires the screen pass out to the far side. That one is caught by Jimmy Weir, and he gets immediately bottled up. Maybe a gain of 1 out on the far sideline. I'll bring up 2nd and 9 here for the Bears.
Okay.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. Quickly to the line of scrimmage goes Palmer Ridge. You've got 2 wide to the far side, same formation. 1 to the near side. They'll send a man in motion this time. They'll hand it off. The running back will be lassoed around the ankles as he got to the line of scrimmage, and he was dropped. And it was an outstanding tackle there for the Tigers. I believe that was Logan Gilmore that shot into the backfield, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10 and a loss of 1. That's Connor Cook, the leading rusher for this Palmer Ridge team. Palmer Ridge, they check into the sidelines. 3rd and 10, 11 minutes left on the clock here. Hester scans the field, has 2 wide to the near side, a slot receiver, and now he'll motion the running back out. That's Cook, drops back to pass, looking, fires, ball is tipped, caught just at the 31 or 30 and a half. They needed 10, they got 10 and a half, and Hester completes it to the tight end underneath, and a first down there for Palmer Ridge. I believe that was Twesme on the catch. They'll snap it quickly. I mean real quick. Little bubble screen out to the near side. Catching that one is Jimmy Weir, and he will be corralled out of bounds after a pickup there of 6, maybe 7 on the passing screen play. So a couple catches there for Jimmy Weir. Palmer Ridge quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Ball spotted at the near hash at the 36. Low snap, play action, stepping up, firing across the middle of the field, and they're going to call pass interference on C.J. Reeves. He had his hand on the back of Ethan Twesme, and so the incomplete pass will be a first down after they mark off a penalty. It was a pretty good call, Spencer. I think you had Reeves kind of holding on to the hip of Twesme as he was going across the field.
Yeah, he definitely made a play on the ball, but you really can't wrap your arm around the receiver before the ball gets there. That's a big mistake there for the Tigers. You really can't afford to make those penalties if you're going to win this game.
By the way, we know our audio sounds a little bit old. We're literally calling into the studio, so that's just the nature of it. We've already gotten some texts in about that. 1st and 10 for Palmer Ridge. Ball to Tiger 49. Ball spotted at the near hash. Hester will hand it off to Cook around the right side, tried to squeak through a hole. Reeves came up and plastered him, but he got about a 3-yard pickup there, did Cook on the first down run, and Palmer Ridge will actually give him 4 up to the 45, and the ball will be spotted between the hashes there in Erie territory. Decent drive so far here for Palmer Ridge. They'll come out, trips to the far side of the field, 1 wide receiver to the near side. In the pistol formation, Hester clasps the hands, gets the snap, so hand it off, and right into the arms of a Erie defensive lineman goes Connor Cook, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. And so far, the Tiger run defense has been strong. 3 carries, only 3 total yards, and that'll bring up 3rd and a long 6 here. Ball spotted right at the Tiger 45. They got to get in down past the 40, maybe to the 39. So 3rd and about 6. So motion a man out of the backfield. Hester looks, fires over the middle. That one's incomplete. The Tigers are ready for that one. They've fired over the middle 3 times. That was intended for a Palmer Ridge player. That was Joshua Gerlach II, a junior who is not on our receivers to watch catch list. So a little bit of a surprise there. Palmer Ridge lining up to punt here on 4th and 6, and they will send this one end over end. Into the wind. This one's going to check up, almost hit an Erie Tiger, and takes a great Tiger bounce. It'll be down at the 23-yard line, and that is where Erie will take over. So the Erie offense led by Blake Barnett and an outstanding season that he has had for this Erie Tiger football team, both through the air and on the ground. And the Tigers will come out with Bison and 4 wide. Ball spot at the near hash at the 23. There goes the handoff. Nope, a fake. Barnett will keep it around the near side. Breaks a tackle, steps up the sideline, and a decent gain there on 1st down. 9:07 remaining. No score here in the 1st quarter. And they'll spot him out of bounds at the 30. A pickup there of about 7 for the Tiger sophomore quarterback. A pair of sophomore quarterbacks going at it today. Quickly to the line go the Tigers. They'll actually spot that at the 3rd and 1. 3rd and a long 2 here for Erie. Barnett in the shotgun. They'll run read. Gives it off to Thice on the far side. Lowers his head and gets hit down to the turf after a pickup of maybe 1. And the Erie fans upset with something. I missed it. I didn't see what they were upset about.
I believe Barnett was actually knocked down several seconds after he handed the ball off to Thyssen. I'm guessing the defensive lineman didn't realize that he didn't have the ball. I saw Barnett talking to one of the referees, asking for roughing the pass or call.
3rd and 1 here for the Tigers. There goes the snap. Read option. Hand off to Thyssen. He's being chased, and he's going to be dropped for a big loss on the read option. It was great penetration by the Bears defense. He gets tackled all the way back at the 26. A loss of 5 for Thyssen, and that'll be a 4th down, and the Tigers will be forced to punt. So both defenses do their job on the opening drive here. For both teams with 8:13 left, no score, the Tigers will punt. Caleb Harner, ball spotted at the 31. Tigers trying to motion some men in a little bit tighter. Wind at Caleb's back. Low snap, catches it, gets the punt away. It's kind of a tumbling punt, bounces at the 30. It's going to be caught at the 22. The Tigers coverage team is down there, and they swarm the return man, and they will start the drive. Palmer Ridge at the 22-yard line is where they will take over. 1st and 10. 7:53 remaining here in this first quarter, beg your pardon. We'll stick right here. Brandon Bird, Spencer Blaylock with you here at Don Breeze Stadium in Monument. And it sounds old-fashioned. We're doing it old-fashioned. We are calling back into the studio. We got a board op back there. It's like my old radio days in Sterling, Colorado. So here we go. Palmer Ridge will come back out here for the Bears. They'll have 3 wide, 2 to the far side. Ball spotted between the hatches at the 22. Hester takes a snap, hands it off right side, big hold there, and tacking back to his left and grinding, being pushed by a slew of blockers, and that's going to be a good gain across the 30, across to the 32, and they're going to give him 11 yards and a 1st down on 1st down. So a good 11-yard pickup there for Palmer Ridge, their best run of the day so far. It is, or at least in the pregame, was slightly snowing here in Monument, ever so slightly. The wind has really picked up, and it is chilly. Ball spotted at the far hash on the 33. Hester in the shotgun, takes the chest-high snap, looking, almost intercepted. It was Caleb Thyssen. He tried to cut off KJ Smedley, got his hand on it, and luckily for Hester, he overthrew his intended target. Otherwise, that would have been 6 the other way for the Tigers. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 here for Palmer Ridge. Both these teams like to get up to the line of scrimmage and get their play calls, and they go quick. 2nd and 10. Hester this time in the pistol with Cook behind him. Tigers crowding the line of scrimmage. They'll send a man in motion. There's the snap, hand off to Cook, right side. Almost could have called a hold there, and then coming up and diving to make a tackle there for the Tigers was Derek Hall out there on the far sideline. That was a pickup of about 4.5 yards, so that'll bring up 3rd and 6 here for the Bears. 7:17 remaining, no score in this opening quarter. Palmer Ridge, they've got a 3rd and 7. They've converted one. They got a penalty that moved the chain, and they got stopped on one. There's a snap, far side. They're going to give it on the jet sweep. Nowhere to go initially. Receiver trying to get to the corner. He does. He'll dive for the first down marker. He was pushed out, but he'll be a couple yards short. He tried to dive for it, but stepped out of bounds at the 40. They needed to get to the 43, and so I'll bring up a 4th and 3 on the little jet sweep action there that time. I think that was Jimmy Weir on the jet sweep, and luckily for the Tigers, did not get a first down. Only picked up about 3, and that'll bring up 4th down here. So ball spotted on the 40.5-yard line. Palmer Ridge set to punt. Wind in their face. We saw a short punt last time. Tigers playing prevent punt defense. This one is a spiraling punt. Fair signal called for it. Takes a huge Tiger bounce and down at the Erie 37, and that is where Erie will start possession number 2. So Erie will come back out on the field. We saw a 3-and-out from the Tigers last time after they couldn't convert on 3rd and 1. So we'll come out here. Blake Barnett, he's got 5 wide in the formation. Ball spotted at the near hash. Tigers going left to right here. Barnett claps his hands. He'll run quarterback draw. Over the left side, a decent hole. Elwin gets flipped from his ankles. He lost the football, but they're going to say he was down. Barnett went after it. He went head over heels, and he ended up picking up 3 yards on the run, but the way he ran after it, made me think he fumbled the ball there. That'll bring up 2nd and 7 here. 6:39 remaining, no score in the first quarter. 4 wide, 2 to each side. Barnett the shotgun with Tyson flanking him to his left. Barnett gets the snap, runs read option, gives it to Tyson straight up the middle, and he is stuffed. Not much running room right now for the Tigers, and we haven't even seen the Tigers put it through the air. It is windy, but the wind is at their back right now, and that was Gannon Arthur, a captain here on this Palmer Ridge defense that filled the gap and made the play. When it was all said and done, I think they actually gave him a yard. So 3rd down and 5 here for the Tigers. Barnett with trips to the near side, takes the snap, scans the field, looking, fires the deep pass down the middle. It's caught by Clickner across the 30 into Palmer Ridge territory. Still on his feet, turning across the 20 and backs his way down to the 16-yard line. A big pickup there for the Tigers on 3rd down, and they have great field position now. A 43-yard pass play from Barnett to Clickner. So the Tigers quickly to the line of scrimmage. In fact, they're going to give them all the way up to the 15. Barnett claps his hands it off to Tyson, right side, squeeze through small, breaks a tackle inside the 5, and finally gets dragged down inside the 4 down to the 3-yard line. And so a 14-yard pickup there on 1st down. Tough running there for Caleb Tyson, pinballing off defenders. 1st and goal now from the 3. Tigers knocking on the door. 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Barnett gets the snap, looks left, fires a slant. Oh, his receiver fell down. That was Gage Nichols, and that was almost intercepted. Barnett looked left, fired that way, and Nichols had slipped, and the Tigers catch a break there. So that'll bring up 2nd and goal here for Erie. This time 4 wide with Big Ox in the slot on the near side and Clicked on the slot on the far side. Tyson flanking Barnett. Barnett takes it, looks, fakes the screen. Now throws it's intercepted in the end zone. He fired it back to the near side after faking it to his left, and it's intercepted in a terrible turnover for the Tigers. You have it on the 3 and an interception, and after a huge play from Barnett to Clickna, Palmer Ridge is able to get the interception and a touchback, and they'll have the ball on the 20.
That is a huge break for Palmer Ridge. giving up a score, the first score of the game, especially after that 40-plus yard pass, that would have given the Tigers a lot of momentum. That would have kept us going through the game. Being able to stop the Tigers there, that is a huge break for the Bears.
So 1st and 10 for the Bears. At the 20, ball spotted between the hashes. Hester in the shotgun, actually in the pistol, and handed off to Cook on the right side. Great penetration there. That was Andrew Nazarenas, and he drops Cook for a loss of 2 on the carry. And Cook so far having a tough time finding some room out there. Palmer Ridge averaging less than 3 yards a carry here in this first quarter. No score here in the first quarter. 4:48 remaining here on the clock. 2nd and 12. Hester in the pistol. This time has 2 tight ends. He'll hand it off to Cook, right side, decent hold there, and just kind of picks his way forward, gets across the original line of scrimmage up to the 22, and he'll pick up 4 yards there on 2nd and 12. That'll bring up 3rd and 8. Tigers running in some subs in and out of the game here. 4:19 remaining, no score here in this first quarter of play. Tiger fans getting into it. Hester in the shotgun. He's got 2 wide to each side. Now they'll motion the running back out of the backfield, and they'll try and draw an offsides, and the Tiger D-line a little bit jumpy there, and I think it will be an offside. So a 3rd and 8 will turn into a 3rd and 3. That's the first penalty of the game for either team.
Actually, that's the second penalty of the game. Erie also gave up a pass interference call earlier this quarter. This one, not quite as costly, but it turns a 3rd and 8 into a 3rd and much more manageable for Palmer Ridge.
That's right. Thank you, Spencer. So 3rd and 3 for the Bears. Man, Tigers had them behind the sticks, and then a tough time to give up an offside. 3rd and 3, Hester in the shotgun. He'll throw the quick screen. The Tigers diagnose, and still on his feet. Oh, the referee blew it dead. I don't think that he was ever down. Did Jimmy Weir ever have his knee hit the ground? The official saying he touched back about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The Tigers stopped because they heard the whistle. I'll say that much. But I'll tell you what, though. I don't know that the receiver was down. He kind of went to his hand and got up after he stumbled. And Weir thought he was off to the races. So 4th down, Palmer Ridge is going to punt. The snap is good to punt into the wind, and this is going to be great field position. This went out shy of the 40. Oh, man, the referee going to walk it in. He's walking it past the 30, up to the 35, and that is where the Tigers will start in Palmer Ridge territory. So you already had it. 1st and goal. So far, this Tiger defense has been strong today. But the Tiger offense throwing the interception in the red zone, not what you want to see. So 1st and 10, ball right at the 35, spotted on the near hash. Barnett in the shotgun, takes the snap, runs read. He'll keep it himself, and then gets kind of twisted down, and they're going to call a face mask, I believe, or a horse collar against Palmer Ridge. As Barnett, he picked up a yard, and then they're going to tack on, and it is a face mask. Personal foul, face mask. That's a 15-yarder and a huge one against Palmer Ridge. So fresh set of downs for the Tigers, and the first penalty of the game for Palmer Ridge. That'll spot the ball at the Palmer Ridge 19. So 1st and 10 from the 19. Barnett in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide. Scans the field. Claps. He'll keep it himself up the middle. Has a hole. Brings a tackle. And he scoots into the end zone. And the Tigers drop first blood here in this playoff game. A 19-yard touchdown run from Blake Barnett. And the Tigers lead it 6-0 with 2:49 remaining here in quarter number 1.
As I said earlier, having the Tigers score first gives them a lot of momentum, which is what Palmer Ridge has been trying to avoid this entire game. But this wind, Palmer has punted the ball 3 times this game, and all of them have gone for less than 20 yards. I saw when he was warming up, he was punting it for 50, 55 yards each time. Of course, that was when he was punting with the wind at his back. So this wind really working against the Bears here.
So Harner with the extra point and the wind at his back. The snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and it is good, and Erie leads it 7-0, 2:49 remaining here. And we're going to take a 30-second timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network. And welcome back into Don Breeze Stadium. Erie leads it 7-0, 2:49 remaining here in quarter number 1. And Dom Dotavio will send this one high with the wind, and that one will go deep into the end zone for a touchback. So 7-0 lead. Tigers got intercepted in the end zone, but they come right back with a touchdown run by Barnett of 19 yards. So Palmer Ridge will come back out. Their offense really has kind of struggled moving the ball. 14 passing yards, 23 rushing yards for the Bears. One wide to the far side, 2 to the near. Ball spotted at the 20. 1st and 10, Palmer Ridge. Hester in the shotgun takes it, fires the screen pass, and eluding one man, and then just a slew of white jerseys coming over and making a big hit that time for the Tigers on the screen pass was Jace Onstad, and a pickup of about 2, maybe 3 yards there from Hester to Weir, who now has 4 catches. Only going to give him a couple there. On the scoreboard says 2nd and 8, so we'll call it 2nd and 8. Hester takes the snap, hands it off, right side, big hold there, and C.J. Reeves had to come up from his safety spot to make the tackle, just shy of the down-to-gain marker. So a 6-yard pickup there will bring up 3rd and 1 here for Palmer Ridge. Got to get it to the 30. The nose of the ball is right at the 29, spotted on the near hash. In the shotgun here, or the pistol here is Hester. Hester scans. Wants the ball. Tigers almost jump, but I don't think they got across the neutral zone, and then they stack up the line of scrimmage, and the far sideline official said that the nose of the football, I believe, got to the 30, so they're going to mark it literally right at the 30. They needed one. They got one. Little give and take there. Palmer Ridge wanted offside. Tigers didn't feel like the spot was great. In the end, it's almost a wash. 1:25 remaining here in the first quarter. Palmer Ridge with a football on their own 30, driving into the wind. Pretty pronounced wind here today at Don Breeze Stadium, aptly named today. Hester takes the snap, throws the screen pass out to the far side. Tigers in pursuit, and that'll work out like a decent little run, about a pickup of 4 yards there on 1st down, and they're really trying to work this screen game. And once again, that was Jimmy Weir. He has 5 catches, but only for 11 yards. 50 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1. Ball spotted far hash. 2nd and 7. Hester in the shotgun. Long snap count here. Now he'll throw the fader out down the sideline. Kana trying to turn around, but that was well out of bounds. It was good coverage by Kana, but Hester trying to throw into this wind. That one just whipped out of bounds. Another third long here. If you're Erie, I think one thing you got to say, stay disciplined. They've been a little bit jumpy, anxious to rush the passer here.
Yes, they gave up one offside penalty on a 3rd and 8 earlier, and that allowed, I believe it allowed Palmer Ridge to convert there. That drive didn't go anywhere, but still the Tigers cannot afford to jump offside.
So 3rd and 7 here for the Bears. Hester in the shotgun. He'll hand it off right side. Cook bounces off one man, but he is well short of the line to gain, and the Tigers get to stop before the end of the quarter. And that'll bring up a 4th and 3, and actually Coach Geiger, and I love this from Coach Geiger, he sees the advantage he has here with the wind. They're going to make Palmer Ridge either go for it on 4th and 3 at their own 37 or punt it into this wind. Either way, you got to either gamble if you're Palmer Ridge or you got to punt it into a fierce wind. Got to love that timeout from Coach Geiger.
This will be, assuming Palmer Ridge doesn't go for the first down here, this will be the 4th punt this game. And as I said earlier, all of their punts have been extremely short because this wind is just so brutal and right in their face. Like Mr. Bird said, that was a very smart call by Coach Geiger to call a timeout and force Palmer Ridge's hand here.
So Palmer Ridge will send out their punt team here. 18 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. A 7-0 lead for Erie. Tigers, I think you got to imagine, are going to play punt prevent. They do have 2 returners in Thyssen and Kana. And they're going to definitely, they're not showing like they're going to rush much. Let's see what Palmer Ridge does here. Snap is low. The punt is away into the wind. A better one this time, but it will still check up well short and still takes another Tiger bounce. All the punts so far have had huge backspin, and Erie will get good field position at their own 41 is where they will take over. So 10 seconds left. If you're Coach Woods, you look up at the wind and the time. Wouldn't be surprised if the Tigers took a deep shot here. Palmer Ridge come out. Their corner's playing pretty soft here. Barnett in the shotgun. He'll now send a man in motion. He'll hand it off to that man. That's Caden Lettuce. Lettuce cuts it up the field, and a decent little 4-yard pickup there for Lettuce on the carry. Don't see that too often from the Tigers. And that will be the last play of the quarter. So at the end of one quarter of play, it's Erie 7, Palmer Ridge nothing. We'll take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility, and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office.
And welcome back into Don Breeze Stadium here in Monument. It'll be 2nd and 6 here for the Tigers out of the timeout. Barnett takes the pass, fires over the middle of the field, has Klickna. That one is right near the stick. And on 2nd and 6, they pick up 7 there from Barnett to Klickna. 7-0 Tigers lead it here in the second quarter. Klickna, his second catch here. Only 2 completions so far for Barnett, both to Klickna. Tigers check in on the sideline. Now Barnett barking out the play, 2 wide to the near side. Ball spotted at the far hash in Palmer Ridge territory. To 47. The run, Klickna in motion, hands it off to Thyssen. Thyssen had to break a tackle in the backfield, and he grinds his way for a yard. That's it for Thyssen. There has just not been much running room here for the Tigers. It has been well defended. Really, both teams have done an excellent job defending the run. 2nd and 9 here for the Tigers. Ball spotted near the far hash at the 48. Barnett takes the chest high snap, runs read option, gives it to Thyssen. Thyssen trying to follow his blockers, now cuts it up the field, stays in bounds, and finally shoved out as he neared the first down marker. It was good patient running by Caleb, just following his blockers. He got it across the 40 to the 39, and he picked up about 6 yards there. That'll bring it to 3rd and 3 here at the Palmer Ridge 40. The Tigers have to get it to the 37. Barnett in the shotgun. One-man nickels to the top of the formation. Now they'll motion Lettuce to that side. Barnett's going to roll the pocket. Throws the screen back. It's tipped. Almost intercepted. It was well set up, but it was a great tip. Maybe even a touchdown-saving tip by Cooper Havener, the linebacker for Palmer Ridge, and then he falls down. He's in pain. So an injury on the field. This injury timeout is brought to you by Worth Chiropractic. Tiger fans, have you kind of strained your neck or back from screaming too hard? Are you looking to get back into the game? Be sure to check out Worth Chiropractic on Briggs Street. Worth Chiropractic, a proud Patreon sponsor. 7-0 Tigers lead at 10:44 in the first half. And, well, they've done pretty well so far. They have 100 total yards right now of offense compared to 53 total yards of offense for Palmer Ridge. So doubling them up. The only difference is now they're into the wind. The Palmer Ridge player is still down there on the field. He ran almost all the way off, hobbling on one foot, and then just went down about 5-6 yards from the sideline. So the Tigers will have a 4th and 3 ball on the 40 when they come out of the timeout. And what we've seen from Erie is they like to be aggressive in these situations, and this is one of those where you have got to execute because you have momentum right now, and you don't want to give that up by getting stopped on 4th down. So still injury on the field. A moment to ask you to help us out on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Erie Tiger Network. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can sponsor a segment for $25 a month. You can even sponsor us and get swag for $40 a month, and all that helps. We do have playoff rights even for our audio. Of course, it's not as steep as the video, which we were not allowed to do. And in case you're wondering why this is an audio-only broadcast, the NFHS network decided to pick up the game. They have first rights of refusal here for all CHSAA playoff games because that's how CHSAA set it up. So obviously bums us out that we're not bringing you full-blown video here today, but hopefully this is close enough. Or good enough, rather. Trying to paint a picture with our words. Still way better when there's a camera. So the man was helped out off the field, and it'll be 4th and 3 here for the Tigers. They'll go quickly to the line out of the huddle. Barnett immediately gets the snap. He's going to run it himself. Barnett breaks the tackle, still on his feet, pulls over another defender, and finally pelted out of bounds. He had a first down across the 35, down to the 30, and then a late flag coming in. It was about a 9 or 10-yard pickup for Barnett. And I think we might either see either a late hit or an unsportsmanlike. And I'm not sure who this is going against.
Barnett did take a slightly late hit at the end of that play after he had a foot out of bounds. I didn't see anything that necessarily constituted, say, unnecessary roughness.
And they are calling it on Palmer Ridge. So a personal foul call is going to give Erie 15 more yards. And so that's going to put the Tigers 1st and 10 on the Palmer Ridge 15. Oh, man, this is a huge moment in the game for the Tigers. They're up 7-0 here with a chance to go up 2 scores here on the road. Barnett in the shotgun, takes the snap, runs three, gives it off to Thyssen. Thyssen will have a decent gain of about 5 yards as he's finally cut down at the 10. A better hole that time. But you can just see this team is different than the teams the Tigers have faced all year, especially along the front. So they'll call it a 4-yard pickup there for Caleb. And now Barnett will change the play. 2nd and 6, ball spotted at the 11. 10:02 remaining. Tigers on top, 7-0. Handoff, Thyssen, left side. Big hole for Thyssen. He's got first down yardage. Dives toward the goal line, and they will spot him down inside the 1. So a 10-yard pickup there for Thyssen, and that'll bring up first and goal from the 1. Tigers quickly to the line. Barnett runs sneak over the left side, punches it across. He has his 2nd touchdown, and the Tigers lead it by 2 scores. So Barnett, a 1-yard touchdown run on the sneak. And the Tigers are an extra point away here from going up 14-0. Tigers will motion their team back in the extra point formation. Harner set to kick this one. Snap, good, hold good. Kick is up into the wind, and it is good. And the Tigers lead it 14-0 here in this quarterfinal playoff game. You're listening to football coverage here on the Erie Tiger Network. We're going to stick right here. And Spencer, I tell you what, you look at these two teams so far, not only has it shown up on the scoreboard, but the Tigers have just been better on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. The Tigers defense especially has been absolutely amazing in stopping the Palmer Ridge run and the Palmer Ridge pass. Our defensive line has been getting huge penetration through the offensive line, getting tackles in the backfield, which has forced several punts and given us great field position, which has led to both of those scores.
Now the Tigers will have to kick it off into the breeze. So Dom DeTavio set to kick it off here. Tigers do their little dummy onside, and now Dom will back up. They'll spread it out. And returners standing at about the 8-yard line here. We'll kick it off. This one high, end over end. Pretty good kick into the wind. Fielded at the 6. Palmer Ridge is going to fake a reverse. C.J. Reeves wasn't fooled, and C.J. Reeves wraps up the returner around the 10, maybe the 11, and a great job. In fact, they didn't even get it to the 10, down at the 9. And how about that kick coverage from the Tigers? C.J. Reeves, the gunner on that one, saw that one all the way.
He read that play like a book. I did see there were several Tigers that did get fooled by the fake reverse, but not CJ. He took that man down by the knees. Couldn't even make it past his own 10-yard line. Also, very impressive kick by Dom DeTavio. Of course, he did play soccer, probably where he gets that powerful leg from.
So 1st and 10, Palmer Ridge at their own 9. Ball spotted at the far hash. Hester in the shotgun here. He's going to hand it off. Right side, decent-sized hole, good cut up the field, and up to the 18 on a 9-yard pickup there from Connor Cook. That's his 2nd longest gain of the day. And that'll bring up 2nd and 1 here for the Bears. Ball spotted still out that far hash. Hester clasps the hands. Hands it off to Cook. Try to get the edge on the outside. Has the first down across the 20. And dives toward the out-of-bounds area, the Palmer Ridge bench, out at the 23. So a 4, maybe 5-yard pickup. They'll call it all the way up to the 25. So a 6-yard pickup there for Cook. 9:04 remaining here in the second quarter. Erie leads at 14-0. Hester in the shotgun. Play action, fires over the head of his intended target, was trying to hook up there with K.J. Smedley, and just fired it over his head. And right now, only 20 yards passing for Palmer Ridge here in this first half of play, as Hester 6 of 8. Hester on 2nd and 10. In the pistol, Cook behind him. Man in motion across the formation. That's the tight end. They'll hand it off to Cook. Cook trying to follow his blockers. Tigers trying to stack him up, and Ryan McConnell alongside Gavin Malik there, but a good push up front and just kind of a grinding 5, maybe 6-yard gain there for Cook. We'll call it 5 yards. So 3rd and 5 here. Palmer Ridge desperate to convert here in this first half. They have had a tough time getting their offense going. 8.5 minutes left. 3rd and 5. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. Hester in the shotgun. Tries to get Erie to jump. They wouldn't do it. Handoff up the middle, and that's going to be short. Oh, Erie's saying that there was a fumble, and they come up with the football. The officials aren't showing anything. The Tigers have the ball. The Erie bench pointing, but they're going to call him down, and that will only be a 4-yard pickup there for Cook. So 4th and 1, and Palmer Ridge is going to punt. And right now, Palmer Ridge putting a lot of trust that their defense is going to stop this Erie offense right now. Bison back to return. Tigers in punt return prevent mode. They don't want to give up a fake. Palmer Ridge late to run one on. Palmer Ridge will punt this one with the win. That's much better. Man, that's just riding the win over, almost over the head, and Dyson dropped it. Now he picks it up inside his own 10, breaks the tackle across the 15 to the near sideline, across the 20, and finally corralled out of bounds at the 25. He dropped it and then was almost dropped himself and bounced off the Palmer Ridge defender all the way out to the 25, so a good return there for Tyson. So 7:23 remaining here in the first half. It's 14-0 Tigers, and now they've got the ball. Wind in their face, and a little bit of weather on the foothills in the background. Or at least some cloud cover. Barnett in the shotgun here. Ball spot up the near hash, trips to the far side, and they get Palmer Ridge to jump. So an offside there on Palmer Ridge. And how does Palmer Ridge, we talk about the Tigers handling adversity. We know Palmer Ridge has played some tough games, but how do they handle being down 14 points? That is just not a position this program has been in pretty much at all over the last decade. Now 1st and 5 here. Barnett takes the snap. A run read option with Kana, keeps himself, squirts through a hole on the right side, and then tumbles backward over the 35 to the 36. He'll pick up 6 yards and a first down. And Barnett has been effective running the ball here for the Tigers. 7 carries, 48 yards. Fresh set of downs here for the Tigers. Ball spotted on the near hash. 14-0 Tigers lead it. 7:09 remaining here in the second quarter. Barnett in the shotgun. He's got trips to the far side. He'll take it, throws the quick curl route. That's Lettuce with it at the 40, and about a 4, maybe 5-yard pickup as they spot him just over the 40 to the 40.5. And they'll give him 5 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd and 5. And the first catch of the day for Caden Lettuce on the quick game there from the Tigers. 6:42 and counting. Barnett up to the line. Calling out the play, ball spotted near hash, trips, or 2 wideouts to the far side. Little wide snap, it was caught there by Barnett. Now he'll twirl around, he throws it to Thyssen. All the linemen were behind the line of scrimmage. That was a broken play. Palmer Ridge, I think, was kind of asking for a penalty, but Barnett smartly threw it to Thyssen. Thyssen caught it, and Thyssen picks up 4 yards. That was not how it was designed.
No, it wasn't. Palmer Ridge had 5 or 6 of their defensive linemen in pursuit of Barnett.
3rd and 1 here. Ball spot at the far hash at the 44. They'll throw the slant. Lettuce makes the nice shoe top catch. Has the first down all the way up to the 49. And a big conversion there.
Like I was saying, there were 5 or 6 linemen in pursuit of Barnett. He was just able to masterfully float it over their heads, over to Thyssen, and turn that play from a sack into some positive yardage.
So Barnett on 1st and 10, ball spotted at their own 49. He'll change the play, trips but tight, a tight bunch set to the far side. A fake pitch, Barnett runs it right up the middle, spins through the defense, and just kind of pirouettes his way forward for about 8 yards. Barnett factoring in big today on the ground game. 5:22 remaining here in the first half. 14-0 Tigers on top, driving the football in Palmer Ridge territory. Ball spotted at the Palmer Ridge 43. They got to get to the 41 for a first down. 2nd and 2. Barnett takes a snap, looks, fires the seam route, almost intercepted and almost caught by Klickna. That was a dangerous pass down the seam. It was well read. And then Klickna couldn't catch the deflection, and had he caught it, he would have walked into the end zone.
Yeah, the Palmer Ridge receiver went up and tipped the ball, almost caught it, and then the Tigers weren't able to catch the deflection.
3rd and 2 here for the Tigers. Barnett's going to run read. He should have given it to Theis, and he kept it. He got dropped for a big loss, a loss of 5 on the play. A little misread there. The play was kind of blown up. You could see why he decided to keep it, as it felt like they were bearing down in, and now the Tigers are going to bring out Evan Rearick. Rearick and Barnett both on the field. Rearick, tell you what, here comes the fake, folks. I don't think Palmer Ridge realizes that the punter is the backup quarterback right now. And now they'll motion in, and Rearick is going to try and convert this. It was a loss of 3, 4th and 5 here for the Tigers. Rearick in the shotgun, Barnett in motion, a fake, and no, the Tigers were just trying to get Palmer Ridge to jump offside. No, they will call a false start. I don't know if they're going to run a play or not. But now with a false start, that'll back up Erie to 4th and 10, and they will punt. 3rd penalty of the game for the Tigers, 25 total yards. Palmer Ridge with 3 penalties and 35 total yards. And now Harner back there to punt. Actually might be Dom back there to punt. Can't quite tell. No, that is Harner. He'll angle it. Much better punt into the wind than we've seen today. And that'll be fair caught at the Palmer Ridge 17. So that's where they'll start with 3:58 remaining here in the first half. Erie leads at 14-0 here on the Erie Tiger Network. So glad you could join us here for this broadcast. As Palmer Ridge will come out here and take over the football. They're still looking for their first score of the game. Hester, right now. Hello? We never went to, hey, you got to go back live. Sorry about that. Went to commercial. Had to communicate. Fernando back in the studio. Running board off. Just trying to make sure we communicate with him. Palmer Ridge ran the ball, no pickup. So 2nd and 10 here for Palmer Ridge. They got about 1, actually. Now trying to set up a deep pass down the middle, and it's caught. It was pretty good coverage. C.J. Reeves was on it. But it was just a well-placed ball, and that one was caught by Twesme for a good pickup there, all the way up to the 34 from the 18, a 16-yard pickup there for Palmer Ridge. Now Palmer Ridge, 1st and 10, fresh set it down, trips to the near side. They're going to run the screen out there. Decent blocking, Tigers shedding blocks, and a decent job after contact was Smedley, the receiver, after the catch. He'll end up actually picking up 5 out there on the bubble screen. 2nd and 5 here for Palmer Ridge. Palmer Ridge almost looks like they're trying to set up little bubble plus, which is what we've seen Erie do all season to teams. Hester in the shotgun, flanking him is Cook. Trips to the far side of the field. Ball spot at the near hash at the 39. Palmer Ridge on the move. Hester play action looking. Trying to find the corner route. Now he'll stop, fire to the underneath route. That's caught. Caleb Theisen in coverage, but a 7-yard pickup, 8-yard pickup, first down there for Palmer Ridge. I think that was Smedley again on the catch. They were trying to set up the deep corner. Hester wasn't really in rhythm and timing. Now Derek Hester, fresh set of downs. Ball spotted at their own 42. Bears, their best drive of the game so far. Hester wide open on the wheel route, catching and running back to the middle of the field. That was a mistake. And how about that tackle? Ryan McConnell lifting the offensive player and just dropping him. That was Connor Cook that caught the ball. Still a 5-yard pickup. My goodness, that was a WWE move there by Ryan McConnell. 2nd and 5 here for the Bears. Ball spotted between the hashes. They're going left to right. In the shotgun is Hester. He'll roll to his left, throws the shovel pass to Cook. Cook being dragged he drags McConnell down. That's going to be maybe half a yard short of the line to gain on the little 4-yard pickup there by Connor Cook. So 3rd and short here for Palmer Ridge. You got to imagine 1:28 left, but how this game has gone, this might be 4-down territory.
And Palmer Ridge definitely wants to score before the half here. They don't want to go into the locker room being down 2 scores.
Hester in the shotgun. He'll motion his running back down, and they'll call a timeout. The running back had to change. That was Orlando Aranda, and I think they're like, this is a big play. Let's call a timeout and get Connor Cook in. He needed a breath after 2 big collisions there with Ryan McConnell. We'll stick right here. 1:11 remaining here in the first half of play. 14-0. Tigers on top here. And this game brought to you by Generalty. We're broadcasting live from the Generalty broadcast booth, proud sponsor of Erie Athletics. Jen's been an Erie resident and specialist since 2005. Contact Jen for all your local town real estate needs. 1:11 remaining here in the first half. This is the best drive that Palmer Ridge has engineered so far, but they had to start back on their own 9. So they still have a long way to go to pay dirt, and don't know what kind of kicker they've got in terms of range. I know Spencer was looking, but big 3rd down and 1 play here first. Cook back into the game. Hester in the shotgun. The officials want to make sure that ball is spotted properly. They do not have to get far as Palmer Ridge. I mean, it may be maybe half a yard. Tigers crowding the line of scrimmage. Hester in the shotgun. What do they do defensively? Hester, he's going to hand it off to Cook. Cook avoids the wave of Tigers that got in the backfield. He needed half a yard. He got 1 and a 1st down. Tigers will send some fresh bodies in. Olmstead in. Palmer is trying to go quick. Almost caught the Tigers napping a little. Now here comes the backside post. That is way too high. And I think they're going to call a roughing the passer maybe, or there's a flag down in the backfield. John Pastore is back there going, why? I didn't see that. I was looking downfield. But that's a huge penalty, and 15 yards for Palmer Ridge. Tell you what, Erie's going to get an interception at some point this game. There's just been too many passes off target in the middle of the field. There's been some good ones, but a couple that have just been dangerous. So 15-yard penalty moves the ball up to the 27 for Palmer Ridge into Tiger territory. 1st and 10, 57 seconds left here. Hester in the shotgun, drops back to pass, scans, fires the little flare route out of the backfield. It goes off the hands of Cook and out of bounds.
And that 15-yard penalty, if I'm remembering correctly, will put Palmer Ridge in field goal territory. I saw before the game when the kicker was warming up, he was knocking down 50-yard field goals. Of course, this with the wind at his back, which is where the Bears are playing right now. So it's entirely possible that they could try a long field goal if they don't put the ball in the end zone here.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Bears. Hester, ball spot at the far hash in the shotgun. He's got trips to the near side, takes the snap, and flags being thrown. I think we're going to see a false start here. And we do, so a 5-yard penalty there. With 53 seconds left, that'll back up Palmer Ridge outside of the 30 to the 32.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named
Call from. To accept, press 1. To speak by your call. Call from.
Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. We're sorry our phone call dropped. We did phone because we thought it was going to be the safest, and our phone call dropped there real quick. Here's what happened. Incomplete pass, then an overthrow interception with 40 seconds left. Tigers with a huge interception. Sorry you couldn't quite hear that. And with 33 seconds left, the Tigers just ran a play but got a penalty. I think it was a hold, and this is going to back them up. They tried to run a play. They wanted to maybe score here before the end of the half, but right now it's going to be 1st and about 17 for the Tigers at their own 6. Palmer Ridge has 2 timeouts left, so not enough to stop if Erie just says, you know what, we're going to take the ball into the half. But Barnett will be under center. Nichols, the fullback, he dropped the snap, hands it off to Thyssen, and Thyssen gets stopped for a loss all the way back at the 3. And then Palmer Ridge decides to call a timeout. So a loss of a couple. And a timeout with 15 seconds left, and Erie, it was Palmer Ridge that called the timeout. Maybe they're thinking Erie might fumble, they could get a safety. If you're Erie at this point, I don't think you need to be too aggressive. You're up 2 scores. And you've been the better football team throughout most of the game. By the way, Spencer, did you catch who had the interception?
No, I didn't. That was right after the phone call crashed. I did see it happen. I didn't catch the number.
By the way, we found out we're using Google Voice, and I think the phone call just automatically dropped at the 1.5 hour mark. So we apologize for missing the pivotal end. We thought it was 2 hours based on our research, so we'll be sure to manage that better for half number 2. We'll probably reconnect our call between the quarter. 15 seconds left here in quarter number 2. Lose our heads a little bit here. Tigers will come out of the timeout here. Trey Kana flanking Blake Barnett. Blake Barnett's going to take it. He'll run it himself over the near side. Good blocking here. Barnett's going to cut it up the field. Barnett across out to the 20, and a heck of a gain there for Barnett. And that will stop the clock with 8 seconds left. It is short. So now you got to be a little bit careful here, because if you get stopped, Palmer Ridge could call a timeout, and you're forced to punt into the wind. So 3rd and 3. It was a good gain from Blake, but he just went out of bounds. A pickup there of 17 yards on the run from Barnett. So 3rd and 3, handoff. Kana breaks a tackle. I think it's going to be a face mask. He's still on his feet, and Kana across the 40. And he broke about 3 tackles there, but time has expired. That will be the last play, and I think we're going to see a face mask call, not a hold call. So that will end. Well, no, because they'll add on to the end of the run, and then the Tigers could run an untimed down.
I did see, I believe that was Trey Kana running the ball. I did see his head jerk to the side back when he was around at the 30. He advanced for several yards afterwards, so the face mask was not enough to bring him down. I also saw almost another horse collar about a second later.
So the 15-yard penalty puts it up to the 44. Tigers will get an untimed down in Palmer Ridge territory. This is interesting. I mean, now Erie's going to take a timeout. They want to talk about this one because with 0 seconds left on the clock, the half does not end on a defensive penalty. That's why they get the untimed play. If you're Erie, I mean, you're looking at about a 50-yard huck to the end zone if you're Blake Barnett into a pretty stiff breeze. What do you do here? Do you run some trickery? One time in that state championship run, Erie ran a hook and ladder. Jacob Mansdorfer tried to pitch it. It went on the turf. Durango picked it up and returned it on the last play of the half for a touchdown the other way. So I've seen the worst. I've seen what can happen.
But whatever the Tigers do here, they need to make sure they don't turn the ball over. That would be a huge loss.
Throw it out of bounds, take a sack, but do not take a big hit or turn it over for sure if you're the Tigers. Let's see what they do here. They will come out with Barnett in shotgun, Tyson flanking him, Palmer Ridge playing 3 men in the end zone, and then 3 linebackers 15 to 20 yards off the ball. They're going to rush 3. Tigers will run the hook and ladder. There's the catch by Nichols, the ladder to McConnell, and McConnell still churning the feet across the 30. It was a decent pickup there, but pretty inconsequential. A 14-yard pickup on the pass play, and that will do it for the first half of play. Erie leads it here at halftime, 14-0. We're going to take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
You are watching the ETN.
If you ever wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School, well now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. It's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program, as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction of knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETN Patreon.
You know that feeling you get when your life is about to change? It's terrifying, sure, but isn't it exciting? You may not know with certainty what lies ahead, but that's what makes life, well, life. And even when the scene in the rear view is hard to leave behind, take a deep breath, hold on tight, and remember, there's no better way to move than forward.
Are you looking to buy or sell a new home? Jen McGurk, an experienced real estate agent serving Erie, Vista Ridge, and the surrounding Denver area. For years, Jen has assisted all types of buyers and sellers with their real estate needs. Give Jen a call today at 303-949-3331 or check out Jen Realty online at jenrealty.com.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets. Cuckoo Crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Jeannie Hulse in Erie today.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network, here at halftime in Don Breeze Stadium in Monument. Erie with a 14-0 lead over Palmer Ridge at the half, and we'll go over some halftime numbers. But this halftime show is brought to you by Teachers Who Tutor. Teachers Who Tutor is a teacher-created company located in Erie. They tutor students K through 12 in all subject areas, and would like to help find the perfect tutor to match your child's needs, whether you're trying to get your kid up to grade level, extend their learning, or prep for the SAT. They are here for you. And let's take a look at those halftime numbers. Derek Hester, we'll start with Palmer Ridge, threw 16 passes unofficially. We either missed one or added an extra one there. One interception, no touchdowns, 58 yards through the air on 16 passes. Connor Cook, he had every carry except one for Palmer Ridge. 16 of them, 16 carries for 56 yards rushing. That's 3.5 yards a pop. That's 59 total yards rushing for the Bears. Receiving, Jimmy Weir, he had 5 catches for 10 yards, 2 for KJ Smedley of 13. Ethan Twessum with 2 catches for 26 yards. Connor Cook had 2 catches for 9 yards overall. Palmer Ridge had, well, let's see, they had an extra penalty there at the end of the first half. So that would give them a total of 6 penalties for 55 yards in that first half. Here's your numbers for the Tigers. Blake Barnett, he threw 8 passes. He was 6 of 8 for 79 yards and an interception. Barnett also rushed 10 times for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. And for Blake Barnett, 2 more touchdowns brings his total, I believe, up to 18 on the season. We'll have to double-check that number, but good numbers for Barnett this year. Bison, not as successful on the ground, 9 carries for 30 yards. Trey Cano, 1 carry for 21. Caden Lettis had a carry for 4 yards. Gage Nichols had a 14-yard catch. Caleb Bison, 1 catch for 4 yards. Caden Lettis, 2 for 10. And Jalen Klickna, 2 for 51 yards for the Tigers. They had 4 penalties for 40 yards. They scored on a 19-yard touchdown run by Blake Barnett with 2:49 remaining in the first quarter. And then they scored on a 1-yard run over the left side, Blake Barnett, in the second quarter with 9:49. And by the way, folks, the temperature here has dropped massively, and the wind has picked up even more here during halftime. So, you know, if anything, I think that almost bodes well for Erie, because if you're trying to come back and you have to throw it through the air, that's going to make this one tough, especially from what we've seen so far. And not a knock on Hester, because we know that Barnett has a nice, big, strong arm, and he can kind of cut it through the wind, but not many quarterbacks built quite like Blake Barnett. We saw Hester trying to move the ball and just didn't really push it down the field much. We'll bring Spencer Blaylock back on, and Spencer, that first half of play, you look, total yardage, 117 for Palmer Ridge, most of that on a drive that did not result in points at the end of the first half. 200 total yards for the Tigers. Tigers taking care of it on offense, defense, and special teams.
Absolutely. Obviously, the Tiger offense has been fairly powerful throughout this game, you know, powering through the cold, through the wind. Even though, their hands are going to be cramping up, their muscles are getting cold, still fighting through the weather here. And the defense just has not let Palmer Ridge have that many big plays. You've got just these huge guys in the defensive line. You have Ryan McConnell, Logan Gilmore, John Pastore on the defensive line holding up the run game here. And Palmer Ridge not making a ton of huge plays, not being able to fight through the Erie's thus far airtight run defense.
Tell you what, your assignment in the second half, Spencer, I want you to keep an eye on that matchup with Big Connor Jones for Palmer Ridge, the Michigan commit, as he takes on whoever is lined up over him, and just have to give us a little bit of a report of how he does. He's big number 77 there. On their roster, he's listed at 6'7", 290. And I know that the Kogel twins, they know him. They work out at 6'0" strength. Andrew Nazarenas. Jones, one of those players. By the way, for sure, Anthony Costanzo out, because we haven't seen him here today, and he is a key piece on offense and defense, and kind of the guy filling his role on defense has actually been, what's his name, Joshua Gerlach II, and he's actually played pretty well. Almost could have had another interception. So, anyways, that's kind of what's been going on so far in this one on the Teachers Who Tutor halftime show. We are going to step aside. There's about 5 minutes till the start of the second half. We'll take a 4-minute timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Sherry Bond is your hometown real estate expert who has passionately been helping people develop winning game plans for their home goals since 1994. Her offense and defense are bar none when it comes to negotiations. Sherry believes honesty and compassion are the keys to seller service. With hundreds of happy clients, you can be confident that when you are working with Sherry Bond, you are working with a team player that truly cares about you for life.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kicking off the season celebrating 35 years of serving our local community. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a do-it-yourself project. At Budget Home Supply, we value a more personal relationship with our customers. Hey, Ernest.
Hey, Vern.
Whether you have a project in your kitchen or bathroom, a new outside deck, or just some general home improvements, indoors or out, come on down to Budget Home Supply.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
You are watching the ETN.
Have you ever wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School? Well, now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. There's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program, as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction in knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETN Patreon.
You know that feeling you get when your life is about to change? It's terrifying, sure. But isn't it exciting?
Can you hear us?
You may not know what
If you
lies ahead.
can't, text me real quick. I'm going to call you on a different phone. I have no idea if you can hear me or not.
Take a deep breath.
Does it sound better?
Remember, there's no better way to move than forward.
Can you dial that?
Yep, hold up.
I'm going to call you on the phone
303
from a different phone. It's Spencer's phone, so it's not going to be mine.
0403. I should set that right. Calling.
looking to buy or sell a new home? Jen McGurk, an experienced real estate agent serving Erie, Vista Ridge, and the surrounding Denver area. For years, Jen has assisted all types of buyers and sellers with their real estate needs. Give Jen a call today at 303-949-3331 or check out Jen Realty online at jenrealty.com.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets. Cuckoo Crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Jeannie Hulse in Erie today.
And welcome back into Don Breeze Stadium here in Monument, Colorado, as the Tigers taking on the Bears. We are about a minute and a half from starting the second half. The sun has come out. It's still freezing cold here, but we've seen worse conditions. I think back to last year as it was the Windsor Wizards that rolled into town, and that was probably the coldest game I've ever called. 14-0 Erie on top here at halftime here at Don Breeze Stadium. Brandenburg, Spencer Blaylock here with you, and we are trying to make sure that all our I's are dotted and T's are crossed. You know what? I'll tell you what, folks. We are going to do an audio test real quick. Stay with us on the air. We just want this to sound a little bit better. Amanda, in the studio, will you text me if you can still hear me or if it sounds any different? If I touch one little chord, let's see if that changes anything. You can still hear me. Does it sound better or worse? Thank you for being patient, Tiger fans. We get you ready here. Oh, a bit worse. Okay, so... Okay. All right. Give me a text right now. Let me know if we are still live. Are we still live? You can still hear us? Okay. So we're still live here. The Tigers will receive the kickoff here, barring any shenanigans. This game has one of those feels where if you are Palmer Ridge, Spencer, do you think about doing an onside kick to start the second half and trying to recapture a modicum of momentum here?
I might consider that, actually. I know you're a big fan of the onside kick in high school football. I'm kind of with you on that. I wouldn't be surprised if Palmer Ridge tried a little bit of a trick play, an onside kick here. So I would say the Tigers special teams should be ready for that. But you never know. There is still another 2 quarters of football to play here. Maybe they are going to put their faith in their defense and can compete, which is what it appears they're going to do, although we know appearances can be deceiving.
All right, so Tigers will move right to left. They'll receive the kickoff. Here's the kick. It's a deep one with the wind, and that one will go to the back of the end zone. So the Tigers will set first and 10 from their own 20 to start the second half. And if you are Erie, carpe diem here to start the half. If you can seize this moment and score to make it a 3-score game, I mean, that might completely turn the game on its head. This, I think, is the defensive series of the game for Palmer Ridge. Barnett will come out first and 10, ball spotted between the hashes, 2 wide to each side of the field. Dyson flanking him. He'll give it to Dyson. Dyson will hesitate, now burst through the hole, and will turn the legs for 4 yards over the left hash. And that'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Tigers. So 14-0, Tigers lead it. Start of half number 2. Barnett on 2nd and 6. Ball spot at the near hash. He has trips to the far side, the wide side of the field. Barnett will change the play at the line of the scrimmage. He comes back into the pistol formation. Dyson behind him. He'll run or give it right to Dyson again. Dyson just gets spun down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1, and the Tigers have had a really tough time getting Caleb going today. 11 carries, only 33 yards. So that'll bring up 3rd and 6 here for Erie as they're going into the wind. The good news is the Tigers will have the wind at their back in the 4th quarter. Barnett takes it, rolls to his right, looks downfield. There's a flag thrown behind the play. Barnett trying to step up, elude pressure. Barnett will have first down yardage across the 35, but a flag all the way back in the area of holding. And just kind of standing back there looking toward the sidelines is John Pastore and Logan Gilmore. And so I think this one's coming back. The official now looking, and he's saying personal foul on Erie, a personal foul call. He didn't give a signal, whether it was a face mask or anything else, but that's a rough one. So a personal foul, 15 yards, and that will back up Erie to their own 12. So they got to get to the 30, so it will be 3rd and 18 here for the Tigers. Trips to the far side of the field. Ball spotted at the near hash. Tyson in the backfield. Barnett's going to give it to Tyson on the delay. Big hole there. Tyson trying to get toward the first down marker. Dives for it, and I think he'll be a yard short. Needed 18. Tyson, his biggest carry of the day, got 17. And that'll bring up 4th and 1, and the Tigers are quickly to the line of scrimmage. They're going to go for it. Under centers, Barnett takes it, sticks it across the 30, all the way out to the 32. But now there is a flag down, and they're going to call an illegal shift on Erie. Oh, my gosh. That's a heartbreaker, and now Erie's going to be forced to punt. I didn't see the illegal shift. It looked to me like everyone was set. So Erie's going to send on their punt team. Erie tried to go quick and catch Palmer Ridge off guard, and they did, but apparently not legally. And Barnett is not happy as he's tromping down the sideline. So harder to punt into the wind. Palmer Ridge showing like they might rush. Punt is away, high into the wind. Checks at the 45, bounces toward the Palmer Ridge end zone inside the 40 and rolls down and will be down at the 37. And so Palmer Ridge got the much-needed stop on that one. So with 10:16 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, Palmer Ridge will take over 1st and 10. And man, Spencer, that one kept this one a game, and it was a good thought, a gutsy call by the Erie offense to go for it.
Absolutely, although it was only about 4th and half a yard. Caleb got really, really close to that first down marker. I'm guessing the coaching staff thought that if they got a play in a few seconds, they'd be able to.
1st and 10 for the Bears. Handoff on the left side, and Cook will lower the head, bowl over a Tiger defender, and he'll pick up 3 yards there on the first down. Connor Cook now 17 carries, only 60 yards. The Tigers have done a good job limiting big runs, only 3 runs over 5 yards in that first half for Cook. Now pump fake and a penalty called and a false start to near sideline receiver for Palmer Ridge. Never even got out of his stance, and half the offense was moving, and they were just on different pages there. So a false start on Palmer Ridge, that will back them up 5 yards. They now have 60 total yards in penalties. Erie has 60 total yards in penalties, and that'll bring up 2nd and 11 here for Palmer Ridge. The Bears come out with Hester in the shotgun, 2 wide to the far side, ball spotted between the hashes. Tigers crowd the line. Hester gets the snap, he'll roll the pocket to his left, looks downfield. Tigers trying to give him pressure, throws it, knocked away, into the hands of a Palmer Ridge receiver. What circumstance and luck that was as C.J. Reeves reached around, batted the ball away, and standing on the sideline or near the sideline, right at midfield was a Palmer Ridge receiver, and he makes the catch for a first down. That can't trot up much more lucky than that. I didn't catch you caught that one. Hand off to Cook, and the Tiger D-line trying to stiffen up there. And a gain there of about 3 for Cook. Man, what a huge break there for Palmer Ridge. That would have been third and real long. And it's so bright right now. The sun is just beaming into our press box that it's hard for us to make out too much right now.
There's a glare coming through the window in front of us, so it is a little bit hard to see.
Hester throws the bubble screen. Tigers a little late on that one. Hester up the sideline to the 15-5 touchdown, Palmer Ridge. Oh, man, but we've got a penalty all the way back at the 47. Erie pointing in the direction of Palmer Ridge. As it stands right now, it would be a 47-yard touchdown pass.
And the penalty is on Palmer Ridge. It's unclear what it is.
I thought it yet when I could actually hear the intercom. A hold is the call, and that might only be a 10-yard penalty. That's really, in all effective purposes, a 7-point penalty, 47 yards. Oh, man, what a huge call that was.
And a huge blow for the Palmer Ridge Bears. They had a touchdown. That was, after they cleared the secondary, they were just off to the races. And at the end of it, it was just a standard foot race.
Now the officials meeting here at the 45. So the ball's back in Erie territory. Ball spotted back at the Palmer Ridge 43. So it'll be second and about 18 for the Bears. Hester in the shotgun. 2 wide out to the near side. He's going to roll the pocket to that side. Looks downfield. The deep out is there. It was well run, and then capturing it and tiptoeing out of bounds. A decent pickup there of about 12 yards up to the Erie 45. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5 on the 12-yard pass play to Jimmy Weir. So 3rd and 5 here. Tiger fans trying to get into this one. Hester in the shotgun, trips to the far side. Hester takes the snap, looks that way. Screen pass set up. The pass is tipped, but it's caught by Palmer Ridge. Connor came underneath it, tried to intercept it, got his hand on it, but not enough of it as it went glancing into the hands of the intended target inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line. So a 30-yard pickup there on 3rd down. That was Aiden Snow that caught that one. Palmer Ridge, quick snap, and John Pastore stands up Cook and drops him after a gain of 1. Palmer Ridge knocking at the door for really the first time in this game. Tiger defense trying to stand strong. Coach Geiger, a defensive-minded coach, but he has seen this team be led by their offense. His defense needing a stop here. Palmer Ridge, they got the stop, they got the ball back, and they've driven down the field. They want to score, make this a 1-score game. There is sun shining on the field now. Hester, ball spot at the near hash, hands off Cook, trying to stretch it to the far side. Now lowers the head, ducks into a wall of white jerseys near the 10-yard line. They'll spot him down at the 11-yard line. A pickup there of only about 3 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd and 6 from the 11. This time ball all the way at the far hash. 1 wide out here to the near side, 1 up top. Couple tight ends into the game now for the Bears. Cook flanking Hester to his right. Hester runs play action, fires the slant, and good coverage that time by Kana. He wanted to undercut it and try and pick it off. It was a little high, but it was good coverage by Trey, and that'll bring up 4th and 6, and Palmer Ridge. And I don't know about this call, folks. They are going to bring out the field goal unit. I mean, that means you're still down 2 scores against the potent Erie offense. You better have a lot of confidence in your defense. Ball spot at the far hash. It'll be a 28-yarder. The kick is up, and they will blow it dead. I think that went between the pipes, and there was a timeout taken by Erie. Curious timeout there. Maybe wanting to ice the kicker. Now you give Palmer Ridge another chance to maybe think this through strategically. What do you think about that one?
I don't know. It seems like a really gutsy move by Palmer Ridge to try the field goal here instead of going for the 7 points. Obviously, being down 2 scores, a field goal is not going to change that. So, if I was a Palmer Ridge coach, I would be going for the touchdown here. I would guess the timeout by Erie, by Coach Geiger, that was just trying to ice them, maybe try to force their hand, make them try a touchdown, and then put your faith in your defense and stop Palmer Ridge here from scoring.
I'll tell you what, you got one of the best kick blockers maybe in the history of Colorado high school football in John Pastore, who has the season record after a shortened season. And now he'll be out there to try and block this one. So it's a 28-yarder from the far hash. Kick on your radio screen, going left to right here. Snap good, hold good, kick is up, and it is good. And so with 7:07 remaining here in the third quarter, Palmer Ridge cuts into the Tiger lead. Erie leads it 14. The Palmer Ridge Bears 3. And so an interesting call there. We're going to stick right here. And this game, the third quarter, is brought to you by 3M Farms. Who's excited for the upcoming holidays? 3M Farms, Erie's own nursery and garden center, will have fresh cut Christmas trees, wreaths, and garland beginning the day after Thanksgiving to help get you into the holiday spirit. Follow them on Facebook at 3M Farms Erie for holiday hours and special events, including a visit by Santa. That's 3M Farms, a proud supporter of the Erie Tiger Network. Palmer Ridge set to kick this one off now. This one end over end with the wind, and that one will go into the end zone. So Palmer Ridge elects to kick the field goal. Man, if you're Erie, your offense has got to find a way to execute. But more than anything, the reason Erie's just not running up the points that we've seen, Palmer Ridge has shut down the run game of Caleb Bison. 50 yards, but 17 of that was on a 3rd and 18. Now Barnett comes out with trips to the far side. Barnett claps the hands, throws the screen pass to Nichols, and Nichols tried to get it across the line of scrimmage, and I think he was cut down and maybe gained a yard, and Nichols is shaken up. He took a shot in the knee, and he's holding his ankle knee out there, and he is down and in pain. Oh, boy, you hate to see that from your senior. Gage, who I've spent a lot of time around Gage. He golfed last year during the pandemic year. Loves to hit the ball far. He's just a kid that likes to have a lot of fun. But I tell you what, he loves to put the time in the weight room, and he loves playing football. He's a lacrosse player, too, for Erie, but right now he is down and in pain as the trainers checking him out on the far sideline. Usually in video we take a timeout here. We're trying to kind of limit the number of timeouts, but now the Erie team coming to the sideline, so we will step aside. So, Fernando, we're going to take a timeout here. No, Fernando, if you can catch that, we're not going to take a timeout. As Gage just stood up, and now he's going to hobble across the field. Just as we said that, he popped right off the turf. So we are not going to step aside here on the Erie Tiger Network. 14-3, Erie leads it here. 6:59 remaining in the third quarter in a sun-washed field right now. And we're looking up, and there's not too many clouds left to block out the sun, and it is hard for us to see down on the field between this dirty press box window and the glare that it's presenting. So we'll do our best here. Barnett takes the snap, keeps it himself. Barnett bounces it to the near side, still on his feet, spins into the arms of a couple Bears there, and he will pick up about 7 on 3rd and 9. So Barnett, he's got 77 on the ground. We'll only give him 6, and this will be 3rd and a long 2. Got to get to the 30. Really, this is 3rd and 3. Here for the Tigers. Barnett takes it, rolls, looks. He'll throw the screen pass. It's Dyson. He's got blockers. Dyson hesitates, breaks through a tackle, still on his feet, and they'll say he stepped out of bounds. Oh, man, he was real close to breaking that one all the way, like we've seen so many times this year, and just couldn't quite stay in bounds, but good enough for a 13-yard pickup on the screen pass to Caleb Dyson. That'll bring up a 1st and 10 at the 38. Tigers trying to engineer a drive here. Trips to the near side. Barnett catches, fires the screen pass. Kogel has it. Mason up the field. He gets pushed, pinballs off a player, and he's got a 1st down as he picked up 10, 11 yards on that little screen pass. And there's big Mason Kogel, the sophomore. And I think it was 11 yards and a 1st down. The pin on the spot here. The down marker obviously fell. Oh, and there's a penalty, and I never saw that. And it's a hold on Erie, so wipe away that one. And we're just having a tough time seeing the field. I had no idea there was a penalty, and the fans didn't react like there was a penalty. So we've seen 2 screen passes pick up good yardage for both teams that have both gone for penalties. So 1st and 20 now for Erie. Ball spotted back at their own 28. And every time it feels like Erie's about to blow this one open. Just can't quite do it. Wayward snap. Good one-handed catch there by Barnett. It keeps it himself, runs it over the right side. A decent pickup there on 1st down up to the 34. A pickup of 6 for Blake. And he had to one-hand juggle catch that one as that snap almost went wide. 5:50 remaining. Erie leads it 14-0. 2nd and 14 here for the Tigers. 2 wideouts to each side. Dyson flanking Barnett. Barnett drops back to pass. Looks downfield. Fires down the middle of the field over the head of Jalen Klickna. Just a little bit too high for him in front of the last defender there. And that one will fall incomplete, and that'll bring up 3rd and 14.
The pass was almost intercepted by Palmer Ridge. Just couldn't quite get under the ball. I actually did think that was an interception for a second, and then the ball bounced free as the Palmer Ridge safety slid out of the way.
3rd and 14, ball spot up the far hash. Barnett takes it, drops back to pass, looking, plenty of time, fires a deep curl route. It's caught by Lettuce, turns upfield, and has it across the 50. They needed 14, they got 17, and a well-timed play there between Barnett and Lettuce, and a fresh set of downs for the Tigers, and now they're into Palmer Ridge territory. Huge play there for Erie. So Tigers leading at 14-3 after the field goal by Palmer Ridge, and now they're trying to work into Palmer Ridge territory and extend that lead. Barnett in the shotgun. 8 in the box here. They'll head it off. Dyson has a big hole. Left side. He breaks the tackle across the 40. Dyson up the sideline. The 20. The 10. And he scores! Caleb Dyson punches it into the end zone on a 49-yard run. And we've been waiting for that all day, and Caleb finally popped one.
Those kinds of plays that we've been seeing from Caleb all season long. It does appear that there's a Palmer Ridge player down on the field.
So with 5:08 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, Erie leads at 20-3 pending the extra point. There is, as you said, a Palmer Ridge player down, Spencer, but that was beautifully blocked by the Tiger offensive line. Caleb got the ball, and he just rocketed over that left side. So the Palmer Ridge player down, the Tigers go. A touchdown, and that is, we questioned the Palmer Ridge decision to not go for it on 4th and only about 5 deep into Erie territory, I don't think field goals are going to win this game.
No, they're not, especially when the Tigers are making plays like this. I know we said the reason that they took the field goal there was because they have faith in their defense, and clearly they just gave up a 49-yard rushing touchdown, courtesy of Caleb Theisen. So I think Palmer Ridge really needs to step up their offensive game and not put so much trust in their defense. Because even though Palmer Ridge's defense has historically been extremely reliable, this Tigers offense is just incredibly powerful, and it's not something that is easy to stop.
By the way, the player shaken up there for the Bears was the free safety junior Joshua Gerlach II. And we thought that he might be a replacement for Costanza, who's injured. So Erie might want to think about now the two best defensive backs potentially there for Palmer Ridge out. And the Tigers now out to kick the extra point to go up here 21-3 if they can convert. Lettuce calling out the play. Now they'll shift into the extra point formation. Harner will settle in. Snap. Good. Hold good. Kick is up, and it is good, and the Tigers lead it 21-3. 5:08 remaining here in the third quarter. We will take a one commercial timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Do you want a better smile?
And welcome back into Donbury Stadium here in Monument, Colorado. The Tigers lead it 21-3 after the 49-yard run by Caleb Theisen. And we've been waiting for that all day as they have bottled up Caleb pretty good. And then the hole opened. That was no read option. That was the just power running by the Tigers that punched it into the end zone. So now Dom DeTavio will kick this one off here for Erie. This one high into the wind, not quite as deep as that first one. In fact, they really have to run up. They wanted to run the fake reverse again. Decent return here for Palmer Ridge across the 30, across the 40, and the Tigers finally corral out of bounds. As that one was across the 40, it was a good tackle. I think maybe that was Jet Cooper on the tackle. Couldn't quite tell. No, out there on that far sideline, that was Sean Thomas Francisco that made it. And now Bear kind of shaken up near the far sideline. No one's shaken up there. But it'll be 1st and 10 from the 40. So decent field position here for Palmer Ridge. And if you're Palmer Ridge, you got 5 minutes with the wind. You got to start putting the ball in the air, I think. Hester in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off. Cook with it, gets wrapped up around the neck area, but was able to fall forward. He picks up 4 there on first down. That is his 21st carry of the game for 71 yards. Caleb Foster in there on the tackle for the Tigers. So 2nd and 5 here for the Bears. Ball spotted between the hashes. Low snap picked up there by Hester. He'll hand off to Cook. Big hole, and he'll just drive his way forward, churns the legs across midfield, across the 45, in Erie territory down to the 44. And a good 11-yard pickup there for Connor Cook. And that is tied for his longest run of the day. So 1st and 10 here for the Bears. Big moment here. This Tiger defense gets a stop. This would, well, I'm not going to say call it a night, but that would just, it'd be real hard for Palmer Ridge to come back if they can't score here. They're going to hand it off on the jet sweep to Aiden Snow. He'll spin his way forward as he was met near the line of scrimmage, twist his way down to the 42. And Snow on the carry will pick up 2 yards. 3:54 remaining here in the third quarter. 21-3. Tigers lead it here over Palmer Ridge, the 4 seed. Tigers, the 5 seed. If they win, they host next week at Montrose, or against Montrose. 2nd and 8. Hester takes a snap, rolls, looking, fires the deep out. There's a flag thrown near the line of scrimmage. Erie pumping their hands that that's going to be a penalty. And it is a hold on Palmer Ridge. So that's going to back up Palmer Ridge 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And the spot of the foul is about 1.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So effectively about a 12-yard penalty. So 2nd and 8 now goes to 2nd and 20. The ball is spotted at the 44 in Palmer Ridge territory. They got to get to the Erie 34. Excuse me, the 46. And now the back judge throwing a penalty, and might be an illegal substitution on Erie. Yep, and it is. And so that's a gaffe, to put it frankly, and that's a 5-yard penalty, and that turns it back to a 2nd and 15. So too many men out there on the field for Erie. They had to run one off. 3:36 remaining here in the third quarter. 21-3. Tigers lead it. Hester in the shotgun. Flanking him is Cook. Hester takes the snap. He'll run, keeps it himself. Nobody is there for the Tigers. He's up the sideline across the 30, cuts over the 20, and a huge gain for Hester. No one accounted for him, and he took it himself, and he got big yardage. 33-yard run for Derek Hester.
I would assume that this would probably be Palmer Ridge's last drive, with the wind at their backs. There's only 3 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third quarter, after which the sides of the field will flip, and Erie will have the ball at their backs again. 1st and 10 for the Bears. Ball spotted at the Tigers 17. Handoff, no. Play action, slant route, and good coverage that time. No, they're going to call a penalty. The official was trying to pull the flag out of his pants. They're going to say that Bison had him wrapped around the waist. That could have gone either way. The Erie fans hate it. The official, you can see he was trying to jerk the flag out of his pocket. He couldn't get it out. And it's a penalty on Erie, and it's going to be a 1st down here for Palmer Ridge. And that's exactly the sort of thing that the Tigers really can't afford to give up, especially with Palmer Ridge now in the red zone. You really want to stop them from scoring. Because they're up 3 scores. If they score, they change it to a 2-possession game with a full fourth quarter left. So giving up the pass interference there, huge mistake by Erie.
All right, it'll be 1st and 2 after the penalty. So they can still get a 1st down here. Ball spotted at the 9. Handoff, Cook stutters at the line of scrimmage. Bounced off, heading toward the corner. There's another flag, and I think we're going to see a hold. I think we're going to see a hold on Palmer Ridge. And now this is one of those times where, if you've watched the Erie Tiger Network, look, this is going to help Erie out. But goodness, do we need to keep throwing the flags? Now in this huge game, the officials have essentially, 175 total yards of penalties between the two teams. Not what you want to see.
No.
And one of those penalties wiped a touchdown off the board for Palmer Ridge. I guess we will take that one. 2:56 remaining here in the third quarter. Hester in the shotgun. He's going to send a man in motion out of the backfield. Now he'll run play action. Looks to his right. Steps up in the pocket. Rolling left. Fires down the field toward the end zone, and it's knocked away by Trey Connor. And then they throw a flag. You have got to be kidding me. A flag for what? And Coach Geiger is livid. I'm livid. There was no contact on that.
No, there really wasn't. That was a clean breakup of the pass. There was nothing there that you can call pass interference, which is what I'm pretty sure they called. I don't understand how you can throw that flag in good conscience.
So we're back to 1st and 2 again. You have got to be kidding me. Tiger fans, that was an atrocious call. Getting flag happy here are the officials. 1st and 2 now. Palmer Ridge will hand it off to Cook. Cook eludes a tackler. He was going to be dropped for a 5-yard loss, and he will score. I think Nazarenes, or maybe that was Kogel, had him in the backfield.
He just slipped away.
And so an 11-yard run there for Cook and a touchdown, and Palmer Ridge has their first touchdown of the game. So with 2:44 left here in the third quarter, Palmer Ridge will kick the extra point as good as 21-10. We are going to stick right here, folks. So 21-10 the score after the Palmer Ridge touchdown. A lot of frustrated people out there on the field. There was, 6 flags on that series?
I believe, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
And there was, I think 4 of those came when Palmer Ridge was in the red zone. I think it was 4 consecutive plays before the touchdown that there was either a holding or a pass interference call made. And I know earlier in the game there hadn't been all that many flags. The reason I think that there have been so many yards is because a lot of them have been personal fouls, which are 15-yard penalties. They add up really quick, especially when both teams are committing them.
You know, it's hard to say from up here whether any of those calls were bad, but the pass interference in the end zone, that was the one that was a tough one. All right, so Palmer Ridge will kick off. We'll get over it. Here's the little short poocher. The Tigers drop it. It's on the turf. They come up and they recover it. Oh, my goodness. That was almost disaster for Erie.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Palmer Ridge was probably less than a yard away from recovering when one of the Tigers came up from the backfield and fell on the ball. There were a couple of big collisions in there as the Tigers and the Bears fought for possession, but that could have ended horribly for the Tigers.
Bounced off the chest of one of the upmen for Erie. I think it was Darian Bustamante. All right, so 1st and 10 here for Erie. Palmer Ridge has a little bit of momentum here. Barnett takes a snap, fires to Oxiger, a little out route, tries to break a tackle, puts the ball forward in his right hand, and he picks up 6 yards on 1st down on the little out route from Barnett to Big Ox. That's his first catch of the day, is Aiden. And that will bring up a 2nd and, that was about a 7-yard pickup. It's only about 2nd and 3 here. Ball spotted far hash. Barnett's going to throw it to Thyssen on the little swing route. He breaks a tackle across the 40, drags the defender across the 45 before he's out of bounds. The Palmer Ridge player left in Thyssen's dust on the turf. He's shaken up on the play. He came hard at Thyssen, and Thyssen just bounced off him like a rubber ball. And we've seen Caleb do that to a lot of guys this year. You just don't want to come hard at Caleb because he just must be built like granite. And now a Palmer Ridge player shaken up. And they're actually stretching his legs out, both of them. So I don't know if he went double cramp on that.
He took a pretty hard hit from Caleb trying to tackle him, which, in my experience, sometimes it can be a mistake to try to tackle Caleb Thyssen. I don't know exactly how tall he is. He's at least 6 feet tall. He's a wall of muscle. So when you put a helmeted pads on that kid, he is like a semi-truck just running through defenders left and right. You don't want to get in his way when he's at full speed.
By the way, we are not paid by the Tyson family to sponsor these comments. I know they're avid ETN watchers. All right, so fresh set of downs there for Erie. We said Erie has just kind of seceded a little bit of momentum in this game and trying to kind of just take it right back. So, in the shotgun now as Barnett trips to the near side. They'll throw the little screen that was almost intercepted. It was thrown too far in front of Clickner. They had Sean Thomas Francisco trying to block on the screen. That's a tough ask. Sean Thomas, fast but slight, and he's trying to block out there, and the defender almost got in there, blew that one up, almost came away with the football. So incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. Ball at the 45, spot at the near hash. 3 to the far side of the formation, 1 down here at the bottom. Play action. Turn around. That's Sean Thomas with the catch, turns it up the field, and he's going to be real close to a first down. They're only going to give him 9. But Sean Thomas Francisco with the 9-yard, and Tigers, they've done this all game. Quickly to the line in short yardage situations. Barnett has snuck it. Quickly to the line. Barnett will sneak it again, and he has it again. And he's gone over that left side every time, and Palmer just can't figure out how to stop it. Minute 36 remaining here in the third quarter. Erie leads at 21-10. Erie checking into the sideline. Ball spotted at the 44-yard line in Palmer Ridge territory. Barnett checks the play at the line. Temperature starting to drop a little bit as the sun tucks in behind the clouds. 2 wide to each side of the formation. Hard clap by Barnett. Somehow Palmer Ridge went across the neutral zone. Didn't call it. Coach Wooch has his hands up. Barnett again. Claps the hands, gets the snap, hands off Tyson, left side, bounces off a defender, rumbling his way, and Tyson getting stronger as this game is going on. And he's got a good pickup there on first down, but there is a hanky laying on the ground in the area of holding, and it will be a hold on Erie, and that will back them up. And another flag, and now for Erie, they have over 90 yards in penalties. So, 1st and 20 now here for Erie. Ball back onto their side of the field at the 46. Barnett in the shotgun. Takes the snap, rolls the pocket to his right, looks at the screen to his left. It's not there. Well defended that time. Barnett takes a hit in the backfield and is sacked. Sacked for a loss of about 3. The Tigers tried to run that little screen pass where they roll to the right, throw back to the left of Bison. And this time Palmer had said, yeah, I don't think so. And a loss there for Erie of 3 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 23. Ball spotted at the far hash. And you had a nice run there by Caleb, and that is all wiped away by the penalty. 2nd and 23. Barnett takes the snap, looks to pass, fires a slant route to Lettuce, and he was hit a little early, and they don't call that one. And Erie fans incredulous, and rightfully so, as Cade Lettuce, I mean, it was bang, bang, but I thought the ball bounced off his chest because he was hit from behind, and he's shaken up.
Erie fans really not liking that no call.
That's going to be the end of the third quarter. Last play of the third quarter, a no call, wouldn't you have guessed? At the end of 3, Erie leads at 21-10. We're going to take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
Welcome back in, Don Breeze Stadium. 3rd and long. Barnett will throw. Caught by Sean Thomas across the 40, but that's going to be short of the first down by about 6 yards. But a good pickup there of 14 on the pass play. And I got to imagine Erie, 4th and 6 at the 39. They'll probably go for this one.
Sort of in that little no man's land where it's a little too far to punt, or a little too close to punt, and a little too far for a field goal, even with DeTavio's strong legs.
21-10 here at the start of quarter number 4. You heard the first play. Tigers now face a 4th and 6, and they're taking their time. They're either going to take a delay or call a timeout with 1 second. They will call a timeout. That is the second timeout taken here by Erie, and they want to discuss this one with it is 4th and a true 6. So they want to discuss what play they want to run here in this situation, but they are going to go for it. So 11:53 remaining. Tigers up by a couple scores here. If you're Erie, not only would a first down be huge in terms of just keeping the ball, keeping your offense on the field, but it also would run out clock. And clock right now an enemy for this Palmer Ridge team. Man, this might be the pivotal play of the game. And Tigers are going to send out the punt team. I don't expect a punt, to be frank with you. I bet we see Ryan McConnell run this one. Here we go, 4th and 6. There's a snap to McConnell. Takes it over the right side. McConnell breaks the tackle. There's a flag. He holds the ball out. There's 2 flags. That's going to be a hold. Did he even get the first down? The spot was terrible. A terrible spot. They put it down at the 35. He reached across to at least near the down marker. They marked him over a yard short. So the penalty will be inconsequential because they won't give him the spot for the first down. And a hold is declined, and so a turnover on down. That's one of those where Ryan also ran out of real estate because they ran the fake punt to the short side of the field. Oh boy, Tiger fans, we got ourselves a barn burner now. 21-10, Erie lead. Palmer Ridge now with the football at their own 35, 11:48 remaining in this game. They got to go into the wind here in this fourth quarter, does Palmer Ridge. Hester in the shotgun. Ball spot at the near hash. He's going to hand it off to Cook. Good penetration by the Tigers. Cook lowers the head and gets it back. Does well to get it back. Actually picked up a yard on the play. He kind of strung that one out and looked like he might be dropped for a loss, and then he kind of lowered the dome and just pushed it forward for a yard. Going to bring up 2nd and 9. This Erie front, though, has been solid today against a very good Palmer Ridge team. 2nd and 9. Hester in the shotgun. Takes the snap, scans the field, fires. The defender fell down, but the throw was awful, and there's a flag down there at the far sideline. They're going to call a hold on Erie defensively, because why wouldn't they? There has now been over 100 yards in penalties for Erie, 108 by our count, over 90 yards in penalties for Palmer Ridge. Give me a break.
Officials really getting flag happy in the second half. They weren't calling, like I said, they weren't calling as many penalties in the first half. They were just calling a lot of personal fouls. But now it's practically penalties being committed every single down.
It just baffles the mind. The referees have had 200 yards of penalties. They've taken this one over. Handoff, Cook. Jump cuts through the hole on the right side, and decent gain there on first down. Across the 50 into Erie territory. A pickup there of 6 for Connor Cook. That'll bring up 2nd and, about 5, actually. The ball was spotted originally at the 46, now in Erie territory at the 49. Hester in the shotgun. Drops back to pass, looking downfield, rolling to his right, and another flag, and this time it's a dead ball call, so it's going to be a false start. And now both teams over 100 penalty yards in today's game. Erie fans clapping that one, but I would not clap. I'd just be frustrated. I was frustrated that everything is being called a penalty. So 2nd down and 10, again after the penalty. Brandon Bird, Spencer Blaylock here with you, a senior at Erie High School. Calling color for us today, stepping in some shoes still left by his brother, and the Tigers will now jump offside. Or was it a delay of game first? The back judge says it's delay of game. The linesmen say it's offside. The question is, which occurred first? Oh, man. And it's dead ball.
I don't think I've ever
false start, or it's on Palmer Ridge. I couldn't see the officials giving the signal to the other side, the home stand. And so I wasn't sure if that was a delay or a false start, but either way, it's on Palmer Ridge.
Never seen multiple dead ball fouls called by multiple different officials on the same play.
And Coach Wooch is asking for the clock to roll. He's saying, hey, why aren't we rolling the clock? 10-14 remaining here in the half. 2nd and 15 here. Hester takes the snap, drops back to pass, being blitzed, fires. The curl route is caught at the 50, and the Tigers have 4 defenders there. But a decent little 9-yard pickup, and now Andrew Nazarenis is shaken up on the play, and he is shaken up, really writhing in pain, holding the right knee. And now every Tiger has taken a knee, and so we will step aside here for a timeout. Timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network. And welcome back into Don Breeze Stadium here in Monument. This 4A quarterfinal matchup. Erie currently leads Palmer Ridge 21-10 here on the Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird, Spencer Blaylock here with you. Andrew Nazarenis hobbling off the field. It'll be 3rd down and 5 on the Erie 49. Once Palmer Ridge comes back out, now they'll roll the clock here. 10:04 and counting now in this game. Erie fans loud and into this one. Not sure if you can hear them in the background or not. Hester in the shotgun, takes the snap, runs play action, fires the slant, going high to catch it. It was a great snag. Catching the back of the football was Tresme, and that was a huge catch. That pass was just a little bit high, but it didn't matter. He came down with it and picked up 12 yards there. So 1st down for Palmer Ridge. 9:35 remaining in the game. 21-10, Erie on top. All spotted at the near hash at the Tiger 37. Hester will send Cook in motion out of the backfield. He'll drop back to pass. Looking, steps up in the pocket, breaks the tackle. He fumbled the football. Oh, and Palmer Ridge able to pop on it as Cook jumped on it at the 31. And it turns out to be about a 4-yard gain. But that ball came flying out of there, and Palmer Ridge was lucky to recover.
They barely avoided a huge disaster there. There were several white jerseys in there, only one Palmer Ridge player, and he was lucky enough to come up with the ball and keep this possession going for the Bears.
All right, so here we go. Big moment. Big drive, rather. Palmer Ridge, 2nd and 6. Hester hands it off, left side. Breaking a tackle, has enough for a 1st down across the 25. That's the backup running back, Aranda, with it. That's technically his first carry. And he picks up about 10 yards there. Up to the 21. Guess that was about 8 yards. I don't remember where the ball was. So ball spotted. They're going to actually spot it at the Erie 20. Erie trying to run players off, get the right personnel on the field. 1st and 10, Palmer Ridge. Hester in the shotgun, takes the snap, fires. It's batted down nicely that time by Burnett. It got in the backfield, came in unblocked, got his paws up, and just knocked it down. So that'll bring us 2nd and 10. Tell you what, Palmer Ridge has kind of caught the brakes here in the second half. Some crazy tip passes, a recovered fumble, and now they have it 2nd and 10 at the 21. Erie almost jumped. Play action. Hester throws it to the end zone. It is caught by Palmer Ridge. There were 2 receivers, 2 defenders in the area, and coming down with it was Tresme with the touchdown, and a 21-yard touchdown strike brings this one to within 1 score with 8:10 remaining.
Oh, boy. So it's 16-21. You would think Palmer Ridge might go for 2 here, have it 18-21, and just have to get the field goal here. If they miss, it's a 5-point game. They need a touchdown. If they were to get the extra point, 4-point game, they would still need a touchdown. So the smart thing to do here mathematically is to go for 2.
All right, so Palmer Ridge will line up to go for 2 here. They have a running back in the backfield. He's going to catch it, runs the sweep, and he will be untouched to the end zone. And so they get the 2-point conversion, and it is 21-18 with 8:10 remaining. We will take a quick 30-second timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Sherry Bond is your hometown real estate expert who has passionately been helping people develop winning game plans for their home goals since 1994. Her offense and defense are bar none when it comes to negotiation. Sherry believes honesty and compassion are the keys to seller service. With hundreds of happy clients, you can be confident that when you are working with Sherry Bond, you are working with a team player that truly cares about you for life.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. It is 21-18. The Tigers lead it by 3 points here. And now you have the most important offensive possession of the season for the Tigers. And we talked with Coach Geiger a couple weeks ago. How do the Tigers handle a game with some adversity? Well, here you go. We're about to find out. Into the wind, a little pooch kick. Calling for a fair catch is Kana, and he will make it at the 36-yard line on the little poocher. And into the wind, I think that's actually probably a pretty smart call there by Palmer Ridge.
There is a flag on the field.
It's going to be an offside on the kick team. So they're going to have to re-kick this one at Palmer Ridge. And that's a 5-yard penalty, and they have 105 yards of penalties now. 8:10 remaining here. They're going to do that again, and let's see. Tigers don't really have... They have basically their hands team out there, which is smart at this point. It was a smart job by Kana to call for a fair catch on the poocher. And so here comes another kick from Palmer Ridge. This one by Rhett Armstrong, and he will send this one deep. So Thyssen, a chance to return. He'll catch it at the 18. Thyssen running to the far side. Eludes a man across the 30. Still on his feet. Cuts back over the hash and pelts his way across the 40 to the 45. Out to the 47-yard line, and that is where the Tigers will start their drive here. An excellent field position. And that's why you make them re-kick, because you got dangerous returners like Caleb Thyssen back there.
And now it is all up to the Palmer Ridge defense to keep this game alive for the Bears.
Tigers could make it a 2-score game again. So 1st and 10 from their own 47. Ooh, almost motion there. It wasn't called. Barnett breaks the tackle. Barnett across the 50, across the 45, flung out of bounds. And they're going to mark him out around the 44. They needed to get to the 43 for a first down. This one's going to be awful close. And Barnett using that big size, and they are going to give him a first down. So a 10-yard pickup there for Barnett on first down. Now into Palmer Ridge territory. 7:51 remaining. The Tigers lead at 21-18. Barnett in the shotgun here. Takes the snap, gives it to Tyson. Good blocking out on the edge. Tyson lowers the shoulder and plants his way forward for a 6-yard pickup there on first down. The Tiger offensive line is starting to exert their will here against the Palmer Ridge defensive line. We saw Palmer Ridge really bottle them up there in the first half, but here, as the game has gone on, this D-line for Palmer Ridge is kind of worn down here a little bit. 2nd and 4 for the Tigers, 7:21 remaining. Ball spotted between the hashes, 2 wide to each side. Barnett takes it, keeps it himself on the read. Barnett breaks the tackle, makes a man miss, and gets enough for a first down up close to the 30. They'll spot him about a half a yard short for Barnett, a 6-yard pickup and a first down, and the Tigers continue to churn out the yards. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Erie at the 31. Palmer Ridge did well to get in the backfield, but Barnett had a good read that time, just took it himself. 2 wide east side, ball spotted at the near hash on the 31. Barnett claps the hands, runs read option, keeps it himself, trying to drag a tackler, continuing to drag multiple Palmer Ridge Bears. He was met in the backfield. He slipped out of one tackle and then just dragged 2 guys for 4 yards. It was an impressive 4-yard pickup all the way up to the 27-yard line. In fact, they'll give him 5 up to the 26. 2nd down and 5 now. 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the top of the screen. That's Kogel. Tyson is checked back into the game. Palmer Ridge a little bit out of position. Handoff here to Tyson over the left side. And the Tigers just blew Palmer Ridge off the ball because they weren't set. And a 7-yard run there for Caleb Tyson. Man, if they didn't make the tackle, Tyson had a full head of steam before he got lassoed around the ankles. 6:06 remaining here. Tigers lead at 21-18. Ball at the 19-yard line. Barnett in the shotgun, 2 wide to each side of the formation with the H-back to the left side. That's Big Ox. Barnett taking his sweet time now. 5:45 left to go in the 4th quarter. Tigers taking their foot off the gas just a touch. Head off left side. Tons of blocking for Tyson. Bowling over the left side. And again, the Tigers, before Tyson is touched, he's 5 yards down the field. He picked up 8 on the play, did Caleb. And Caleb has 120 yards rushing now.
I think the Palmer Ridge defensive line really wore themselves out trying to stop Caleb so much in the first half. And now that they've spent a lot of their energy, they really just don't have the strength.
2nd and 2 here for the Tigers. Barnett in the shotgun with Tyson flanking him to his right. Ball spotted on the far hash. 5 minutes remaining here in the quarter. There's a low snap and a penalty flag, and an offside on Palmer Ridge is called. So that's going to be a fresh set of downs for Erie. I didn't see that. That was after the snap. That was an interesting call. But an offside, we have filled up our spreadsheet for the total number of spots we give for a team with penalties. There's none left for Palmer Ridge. 110 penalty yards today, and now it's 1st and goal for the Tigers on the 6-yard line with under 5 minutes to play. If they can score a touchdown here, oh boy, it's going to be tense time for this defense because they could make a game-winning play. 4:40 left. Barnett takes it himself, right side, stutters, trying to get it across the 5 and gets knocked to the turf to the 4. Only a 2-yard pickup there for Barnett. That was one of those where Palmer Ridge just kind of sold out on the run, and Barnett made a choice, decided to keep it, and went a long ways all the way across the field just to pick up 2 yards. So 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line now. Tigers checking in. Now only 4 minutes left to play. If you are Erie, this is a must score. And Erie's going to take a timeout here. That is their last timeout with 3:51 remaining here in this game. It is 2nd and goal from the 6. Oh, catch your breath for a second, Tiger fans. As we are live here on the Erie Tiger Network, 3:51 remaining, 21-18. Erie leads it. They have it 2nd and goal on the 4-yard line. The scoreboard showing the 6. So I said that, but the ball is on the 4-yard line. Erie has engineered a solid drive all on the ground, and their run blocking has been really solid here on this drive, Spencer.
Absolutely.
So it's getting nervy time, folks. So nervous that I'm having a hard time calling this one. I'm breathing heavy up here. Oh, goodness. We have seen games like this, but it has been a while.
Yeah, the Tigers haven't had a lot of really tough games this season. This is by far the closest we've had.
2nd and goal for the 4. There's a snap. The keeper by Barnett over the right side. Dives for the goal line. He will score. A 4-yard touchdown run by Barnett over the right side. He kept it on the read option, and he jumped up. Looked like Drew Brees flying through the air. Ball forward, diving over the goal line, and the Tigers take a 2-score lead with 3:45 remaining here in this game, and they are on the precipice of going to the semifinal.
You cannot underestimate the athleticism of Blake Barnett. He has just been so incredible, so fast, strong this whole year. And he proved it with that play, practically vaulting over the defender, pretty much flipping completely around to get into the end zone.
All right, so now a penalty flag is thrown, a delay of game on Erie on the extra point attempt. So Tigers lead at 27-18, trying to make it a 10-point game here with the extra point. What a huge drive. All on the ground, no negative runs for Erie. And they just punched it with old smash mouth football here to take a 2-score lead. The snap is high. The hold is excellent by Click. Now the kick is up and it is good. And the Tigers lead at 28-18 with 3:45 remaining here in this game. Tiger fans have got to be elated. Their team is just 3:45 away from punching their ticket to the state semifinal. Tigers were there last time in, 2018 against Pueblo East, where they were knocked out. That, you might remember, Noah Roper was hurt for that game. Tigers had to face Kane Medrano and Luke Andrada. Saw Luke get into the game for the Iowa Hawkeyes only a couple weeks ago. And Kane Medrano playing for UCLA. And so that was the last time we've seen the Tigers play in the state semifinal just a few years ago. Can we see it again here this year? They are only a little over 3.5 minutes away from that as Dom with the wind set to kick this one off. And that makes the other thing tough for Palmer Ridge is you got to work your way into the wind. There's the kick. This one high. And a touchback out of the back of the end zone by about 4 or 5 yards. So now a big defensive moment here for the Erie Tigers. Obviously all the pressure is firmly on Palmer Ridge, but they're down 10, and we go back Spencer, to when they elected to kick the field goal instead of go for a touchdown, Palmer Ridge. And right now that's hurting them because they're down 2 scores. And that's what we said. Field goals will not win this game.
Exactly. Obviously, we'll never know if Palmer Ridge would have scored a touchdown if they had gone for it. But those 3 points just not enough.
10 snap taken. Here comes the rush, and Colville gets it back there and sacks Hester for a loss of only 1. He stepped up in the pocket, but Colville was there, wrapped him up, and Jackson with the sack. Now Palmer Ridge trying to hurry here. 2nd and 11. Multiple men running to different spots on the field here. Palmer Ridge gets set. There's the snap. Hester looking, fires, almost intercepted. Coming up was Caden Lettuce. He was watching the quarterback's eyes, saw Aiden Snow stop in the middle of the field and broke on the football and almost had an interception as he knocked it to the turf. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10 here for the Palmer Ridge Bears.
And the Tiger crowd is going crazy here in the visitor stands. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but I'm actually having to talk a little louder. I can hardly hear myself over the fans.
So 3rd and 10. Here's the snap. Hester rolls to the near side, throws the out route that's caught, and a 5-yard pickup, and that's it. And that'll bring up a 4th and 5. It was caught by Jimmy Weir. So ball spotted. Actually, that was only a 4-yard pickup. So 4th and 6. This is the game for the Bears. Coach Geiger waving his hands up. Tiger fans trying to get loud. Palmer Ridge looking to the sideline. 3:06 remaining. Tigers on top, 28-18. Hester in the shotgun. He's got trips to the far side. Single wide out left. He'll send a man in motion now. Drops back to pass. Looking. Fires over the middle. That one is caught, and he's planted at the 40, but that's enough for a first down by KJ Smedley on a 16-yard pickup there. Good pocket presence. The Tigers really didn't get any pressure on the pass rush there. Hester just stepped up and fired a strike. Now 1st and 10 here for the Bears. In the shotgun, Hester runs play action, looking. Now he's being pressured by Kogel. Flushes to his right. Here comes McConnell, wraps him up and drops him for a sack. They'll say he's still on his feet. Now he throws it away. How was he on his feet? McConnell flung him. They said that he didn't go down, that he kept his hand and the ball on the ground and his knee didn't touch, and he threw it away, and it was called incomplete.
You know, I was almost certain that both of his knees went down, and I'm not entirely sure that ball made it to the line of scrimmage. That could have been called.
Tell you what, the Tigers were lucky. They stopped. They thought it was a sack. We thought it was a sack. And they stopped, and the only person that kept going was Hester. Even Palmer Ridge stopped, and he just had to throw it away. Now 2nd and 10 here from the 40. Ball spotted between the hashes, 2:42 remaining. Hester rolls to his right, looks deep. He's going to take a shot down the field, and it is near the sideline, and what a catch it is. Inside of Erie territory, down to the 33. It was great coverage. Now, we have seen some really good coverage by Erie all game that Palmer is still able to get a catch. A 27-yard pass play, and I think that was Gerlach that got the catch. Now Palmer Ridge fires the little out here on the near side. Ryan McConnell there, a short gain of only 4 there to Jimmy Weir. And 213 yards to the air now for Hester. Quickly to the line, 2:21 remaining. 2nd and 6. Tiger defense scrambling a little bit. They'll roll the pocket to the right. This Palmer Ridge. Step up, fire toward the end zone. The Tigers are there. It's intercepted. Caleb Price caught the 10th pass, and the Tigers will have it. 1st and 10 on the 20, and this one is over, folks.
I thought there might have been a Tiger down in the end zone, but he's standing up now. This is the end for Palmer Ridge. They're done. That's it.
Barring a huge fumble. Now, I will say this. Palmer Ridge does have all 3 timeouts left, but with 2:10 on the clock, it'll be Erie football and a 2-possession lead. And you felt like the interception was coming. They're going into the wind. The Tigers are playing soft pass coverage defense, and it was two men in the area, both Reeves and Thyssen able to hold onto it.
Just an amazing play by Caleb Thyssen. He's not just an incredible offensive player. He's made some really amazing plays on defense, like that one right there.
All right, so here we go. Tigers, 1st and 10. Palmer Ridge, all 3 timeouts. Barnett claps his hands a couple times, try to get Palmer Ridge to jump. Now he'll drop back, takes the snap, gives it off to Thyssen. Thyssen, big hole, burst through the middle, has a first down and more as he's out across the 30, drove up near the 35, and that's where they'll spot him down a 15-yard pickup there for Caleb Thyssen. And the clock will roll, 2:04 and counting. Fresh set of downs here for the Tigers. They just got to have ball security here. Ball security is job security.
Realistically, a fumble is the only thing that could keep the Tigers from winning this game, and even then, it's still a 2-score game.
Barnett in the shotgun. Takes it, hands it off. Thyssen, left side, huge hole, still on his feet, and just kind of gingerly sauntering out there as he, more than anything, wanted to stay in bounds. But it was still a good run there. A pickup of 7 yards for Thyssen on 1st down, and Palmer Ridge will have to burn a timeout.
Now just 90 seconds left in this game.
Well, how about that, Tiger fans? Palmer Ridge, state champions over this Erie team 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever that was. I don't know. It's all melding together the older I get. And the Tigers able to exact a little bit of revenge, and I saw some Erie alumni earlier today commenting on the chat, and Alex Mathis was part of that game. Spencer Brooks, I know they've checked in, and so that's got to feel a little bit sweet for those alumni to know the program they helped build is now going back to the semifinals, and they'll be a game away from the state championship next weekend at 4A. I believe the state championship this year is at Empower Field.
So that is correct. With 4A and 5A, the state championship games are played at Mile High Stadium.
Got to finish this one first, and then focus on next week before we start thinking about that. Handoff, Thyssen, left side, has a big hole, blockers in front, across the 40, across the 30, hurdles a man before he's corralled out of bounds, and there's a flag all the way back on the Erie side of the field at the 46-yard line, and so that run of about 21 yards is going to be wiped off the field, and the chain gang started moving. They didn't see the flag, so they got to reset. And that's why you have the little chain markers at the 5s in case you just don't reset perfectly properly. So a 10-yard penalty on Erie. And I've run out of now penalty spots on my spreadsheet for Erie as they have 123 yards of penalties.
So both teams have accumulated well over a full football field of penalties.
By the way, the Tigers have rushed now for 266 yards today against one of the top teams here in 4A on the road. That is how you win playoff football games, folks. I know Coach Wooch felt really good about his game plan coming into today. 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. Handoff to Thyssen, left side, and Thyssen will be gobbled up as he got across the line of scrimmage. Picked up 2, maybe 3 yards for Caleb, and a timeout called by Palmer Ridge with 1:17 remaining. The Tigers still lead it 28-18. So 3rd and 6 here for Erie after the 2-yard pickup. And a timeout from Palmer Ridge. We'll stick right here as Tigers will have a game at home next week. They're the lower seed, but due to the CHSA rules, they're at home. Will this game be on the Erie Tiger Network? Folks, we hope so. We have no say in that when it comes to playoff times. We will pay the money for the playoff rights. but it all depends on whether the NFHS wants to pick up the semifinal game. And my thing is, if you bought an NFHS subscription today, that's going to tell them that, hey, maybe it's worth the money to send a crew out there. But I want you to see it too. So but we're just hoping. We hope. I know it's a couple days after Thanksgiving. We'll round up a ragtag crew of Erie Tiger Network students. We'll get it on the air. But the plan is to do it if we can. So here we go. 3rd and 7 here for the Tigers. Out of the timeout, 1:17 left. Ball spotted far hash. Barnett keeps it himself, runs over the right side, and then gets tumbled backward. And Barnett is shaken up. Oh, no. Oh, no. Barnett is crawling on the turf in pain, and now he can barely put any pressure
on what appears to his left leg.
Oh, man. And I actually think it's his hip. That is what has been bothering Blake this season. And he kind of grabbed at his hip. He picked up 5 yards on the carry. It'll be 4th and 2 for Blake. He's got 109 yards rushing, and he's still down. And Mr. Carpenter's out there on the field. Coach Geiger. Gosh, Tiger fans, the quarterfinal years ago is when you saw Noah Roper go down, and they had to do the semifinal without their best player. And the good news is Evan Rearick more than capable of filling a role. But what makes Blake so special is his ability to run the ball. Run the ball like we haven't seen a quarterback be able to run and pass, a true dual threat. And he's in some serious pain here, folks. And, oh, man. And he has helped. He is putting no weight as he's helped carried off the field. So 1:11 left, 4th and 2. Erie could punt here, try and pin Palmer Ridge back. We'll say that wasn't the plan you had. Palm Ridge had to exhaust all 3 timeouts, but they did get the stop. And we're looking at the trainer down there, and she is looking at the hip of Barnett and kind of putting some pressure on that. That's why I just mentioned the hip, because I know that's what Blake has kind of struggled with throughout the season. You hope maybe that's just a aggravation of some pain, not something that will
keep him from playing.
Yeah. So here comes a punt. Harner out here to punt. Tigers with the wind at their back. Ball spotted the 48. The snap is good. Here comes Palmer Ridge, but the punt is away. Spiraling punt lands at the 24. A huge Tiger bounce toward the end zone. This is going to be down at the 1. What a bounce, and the Tigers were down there to cover it. And so with 1 minute and 1 second left, down 2 scores, Palmer Ridge has to go 99 yards, get the ball back, and score again to stay alive. Not quite over yet, though, folks. We may have started celebrating a little bit too early. We would never do that. We're hyped up in the booth, I'll tell you that much.
So that was an incredible punt, an incredible bounce, an incredible coverage to pin Palmer Ridge back really, really deep. And if you're the Tigers, obviously you're looking to stop Palmer Ridge. But I wouldn't rule out the possibility of getting a sack in the end zone and picking up a couple more points here.
So here goes the snap from his own end zone. Hester looking. Now it's flush from the pocket. Fires it out of bounds. There was a receiver in the area. Tigers calling for penalty flags, but that was not close to intentional grounding. Not only was Hester flush from the pocket, he also had a receiver in the area. 55 seconds left, though. At the 1 yard line. John Pastore, Burnett, and Gilmore out there for the Tigers on the D-line. Hester will roll the pocket to his right, fires the out route. The Tigers playing soft will let that easily happen. And able to get out of bounds was The receiver, he picked up 8, maybe 9 on the play. That was Jimmy Weir. That is his 8th catch of the game for an 8-yard gain. 3rd and 2 from the 9. Hester in the shotgun. Tiger safety's playing real deep here. Here comes the deep pass on the fade route, and that was just overthrown, and now it's 4th down. Tiger safety's playing so deep that the fade, if it's thrown right away, might be there, but you got to throw that dang near perfect, and that one overshot everyone. 4th and 2 here for the Tigers. Ball spotted at the 9, far hash. Wind in the face. Hester in the shotgun. All they need is 2 yards to pick it up. Hester will look, fires across the middle of the field. That one is caught by Twese. A good block downfield, and Twese keeps rumbling across the 25, across the 30, and finally corralled out of bounds at the 34-yard line. And a decent pickup there of 23 yards.
Just 37 seconds remaining in this game.
They'll mark it all the way up to the 35. So 37 seconds left. Tigers lead it by 10. Palmer Ridge now with the ball to Erie 35. Palmer Ridge will split out 3 to the near side, 2 up top. Hester drops back, fires a quick pass. That one is caught at the 40, but immediately sandwiched between 2 defenders was the Palmer Ridge receiver, and now pick up 5 yards. And in the middle of the field with no timeouts, the Tigers will gladly give up that. Now 17 seconds left. Hester rolling to his right, looking, fires back across the middle. Good job by Sean Thomas. It was caught out across the 15 to Erie territory at the 47. That will temporarily stop the clock. And now kind of shaken up behind the play is Jackson Kogel. He's sitting on his backside at the 41. And so the trainers will come out and check on Jackson. And the referee just threw a flag. Why?
I have no idea.
I think they're saying that Jackson, a delay of game.
How's that a delay of game?
Saying that he faked the injury, I guess. I mean, you never see that called, folks. There's 10 seconds left in this one. Maybe it was a taunting call. I don't know. That came after the trainers were already out on the field. And the umpire who was standing over the ball threw it about 13 yards backward to where Jackson Kogel was sitting on the turf. The Tigers will win this one. There's not enough time left. Only 10 seconds. Well, your heart drops a little bit, man. You hope that Blake Barnett is healthy. That would be a real punch in the gut to happen in both semifinal runs. And kind of the offensive leader of your team is shaken up, and Blake is walking back and forth in silence. By the way, they called a personal foul on Palmer Ridge. So somebody said something that you're not supposed to say, especially to a Tiger that's down and injured, and that's why the penalty came flying in. The flag almost hit Jackson Kogel. That's why I thought it was on him.
I didn't see where the flag came from. I saw it fall. I thought that there might have been a referee in the area that had just accidentally dropped it, which is why I didn't say anything initially.
Coach Geiger, he's pumping up the fans. He's coming over. And with 10 seconds left, he knows he's going to the semifinal. He gave Blake Barnett a huge hug, a huge smile to the fans. He's pumping them up because he knows this one is over. With 10 seconds left, Palmer Ridge will have to score this play, get the ball back, and hope that there's still time on the clock. Hester rolls to his right, fires it, caught underneath, up to the 50 and stepping out of bounds to his Weir, and that is it. Time is run out. The Tigers have punched their ticket to the state semifinal with a 28-18 victory over the Palmer Ridge Bears here in Monument. Have a happy Thanksgiving, Tiger fans. We're going to see you next week in Montrose. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll have some final numbers in this one. We'll also see if we can't get a player up here to interview in our little post-game show. We'll take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kicking off the season, celebrating 35 years of serving our local community. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a do-it-yourself project. At Budget Home Supply, we value a more personal relationship with our customers. Hey, Ernest.
Hey, Vern.
Whether you have a project in your kitchen or bathroom, a new outside deck, or just some general home improvements, indoors or out, come on down to Budget Home Supply.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
You are watching the ETN.
If you ever wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School, well now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. It's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction in knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email
And welcome back in here to the Erie Tiger Network. The final score in this one, 28-18, and the Tigers are going to the semifinal. We are still live here on the Erie Tiger Network, and I am currently with our audio device trying to head down to the field to pick up a couple of post-game interviews. We won't have any post-game numbers for you, but we will continue to broadcast this live here on the Erie Tiger Network as we head down to the field. We're trying to get a couple of interviews from Tiger players, and we'll see if we can. And we'll try and pick up an interview here from Coach Geiger. Once again, the Tigers heading to the semifinal as we are now field level and trying to find a couple Tigers in the wash to talk to. And we are live here with Caleb Dyson here on the Erie Tiger Network. Caleb, they kind of bottled you up there in that first half, but you broke a big one there for 49 yards, and that kind of broke the game open. You guys stayed patient with the run game. What was kind of the thought process there?
We're just going to take whatever the defense gave us. We can pass it and we can run it, so just whatever the defense allowed, they got to give somewhere, and so we took it.
It seemed as the game went on, you guys continued to get stronger up front, and you were blowing holes wide open. You were bursting through those holes. Could you sense that Palmer Ridge is getting tired?
Yeah, we could sense their energy was definitely getting there, and we just kept on the gas. So that was really great for us, keep the energy up, and then they just couldn't hang.
Awesome. Well, congrats and good luck next week. What would care about that? One more thing.
I also want to give a shout out to my little cousins, Evan and Graham. They asked for it, so here it is. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.
All right, that was Caleb Dyson. Rushed over 140 yards on the ground today. We are trying to swarm through the mass of humanity down here on the field and pick up a coach or a player or someone that we can talk to. And we are actually here with Coach Geiger, here live on the Erie Tiger Network. Coach, man, what a game plan. I know you guys felt confident that if you ran your stuff, you guys could beat these guys, and that's what bared out here today on the field.
Yeah, I thought, in the second half, or first half, especially defensively, I thought we were really dialed in. And honestly, I think we would have been fine in the second half if their coach wasn't an idiot and tried to get too creative and get into prevent too soon and some other things, and probably should have just stayed with what we were doing. But the guys all week were dialed in and did a great job of taking away what we wanted to take away and forced them into the pass game, which we thought we kind of had an advantage there. And then offensively, I think we made plays when we needed to. I think we hurt ourselves a little too much, and hopefully we can get some of those fixed. But overall, though, they just kept fighting together. This is a fun group, a special group, and it was fun.
Coach, I know this game means a lot for the alumni, beating Palmer Ridge, going back to the semifinal. Your first year here, what does getting to the semifinal mean for you personally?
I think beating Palmer Ridge is a bigger deal. When you coach at this level, those kind of teams are the ones that you want to play. And selfishly you want to play them so you can prove that you know what the hell you're doing. But overall, I know I heard a lot of talk, obviously it was before me, but it was a big deal to the kids and a lot of people because they lost to them. But getting to the semifinals is where you want to be, because then anything can happen. You're one step away from where your ultimate goal is. And, we're there now.
Awesome. Congrats, Coach. We'll see you next weekend at home against Montrose.
Ready. Thank you very much.
That was Coach Jeff Geiger, the head coach of the Tigers football team. That is going to do it for us here. No halftime stats. We decided to try and get you a couple interviews here out on the field. So glad you could join us for today's game. A huge win out here at Don Breeze Stadium, and this is the second time I have been able to celebrate and dance on this field, so I'm personally happy. But a huge shout-out and thank you to Spencer Blaylock, who came during his break for the timeout, and a huge shout-out to Fernando and Joe back in the studio board-opping this one. For all of them across the Erie Tiger Network, I'm Brandon Bird, and until next time, Tiger fans, I'll chirp at you later.